Welcome to the live tonight, and hope everyone had a good Easter weekend. It's the end of, or it's now Monday night here in Australia, but probably still Sunday in other parts of the world. So I hope you all had a good weekend, and remember what it's all about as well. Give thanks for for Christianity too, I guess. Yeah. Hey B, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Thanks for joining me, mate. I appreciate it. So this week, saw a pretty good video actually with Dr. Abs, actually, and he's talking about fat oxidation, okay, which is the primary source for metabolizing fat, right, or to lose fat, and oxidating the fat cells and so on. So I thought there was a couple of there was a good study actually came out of PubMed, and actually I'll bring it up for you, and so you can see for yourself. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay, so why low carbs diets supercharge fat oxidation? Okay. Now, if we go through it, now fat oxidation is the process by which the body breaks down stored for energy in the mitochondria. Okay, and it's the key driver for fat loss, okay, metabolic health, and endurance performance. Now, this study that came out of the link here, this is on my Substack, so you can go and read the rest of this yourself anytime you want. And I'll put the link in the description or in the chat afterwards anyway. So why low carb diets supercharge fat oxidation? Okay, like when you are fat adapted, and say for example you get up in the morning and you do a fasted high intensity interval training. Now this doesn't mean, I mean, this is just all relative as well. So anyone can do this kind of stuff. And I'm talking about this many times before. When you do fasted sprints, for example, you do like a 10-second sprint, and like every minute on the minute for say 10 minutes. Okay. Now you can do this on the bike, on foot, even in the pool. Okay, swimming. Now this study showed that being fat adapted and doing high intensity interval training actually metabolizes or oxidizes fat twice as fast as any other method. Okay, as being on carbs or other training methods anyway, especially while eating carbs anyway. Now, the part I wanted to talk about, and obviously there's high intensity interval training is part of that, part of the study and why it works. Now, the reason why you do high intensity interval training is because this will actually set up your metabolism to do this for hours later. It will actually continue for some hours. I think it's like 3 or 4 hours afterwards that you are sort of kicking your fat metabolism or oxidation of fat into high gear. Okay. But I just wanted to add to that. The fact is that to oxidize fat in the cells, you have to get oxygen to those cells. All right. So being fat adapted, being fasted, and doing high intensity interval training is great, but it can be better. All right. Now, it is certainly the fastest way to do it, or certainly the fastest way measured anyway at the moment. But again, delivering the oxygen to the cells to create fat oxidation, you need CO2 levels. Okay, so this comes back, it always comes back to the way you breathe. Okay. So again, even while you're doing high intensity interval training, this is just like the training I was talking about in the previous Substack. When we talk about athletes doing this, trying to restrict your breathing while you are doing this, slow your breathing or your breath intake, reduce the volume of breath that you bring in, this all increases your CO2 levels, which sounds counterintuitive, but you need the CO2 because that is the signaling molecule that actually picks up and delivers the oxygen to your cells. So the less you breathe while you are doing any intense exercise, the more oxygen you're actually going to get to your cells. Okay. Whereas if you are huffing and puffing and blowing off too much CO2, it means that you're actually going to get less oxygen to your cells, which means it's going to drag your performance down. Okay, so you can increase your performance, doesn't matter what exercise you're doing, whether it's high intensity or not, by simply slowing down your breathing and reducing your volume of breathing as well. And that in turn will also not only train your autonomic nervous system to breathe less during the day, which is what we're supposed to be doing anyway. At rest, we should be no more than 5 or 6 breaths per minute. In fact, 5.5 is the perfect limit. Okay. That in itself is also going to train you to build your CO2 tolerance for the rest of the day, train you to breathe less, and obviously that's going to deliver more oxygen to your cells even at rest, which means that you will just naturally metabolize, or you will naturally oxidize fat at a more efficient rate. Okay, so this is another good example of how CO2 levels, or controlling your CO2 levels, will actually increase your fat oxidation and also help towards burning fat. Okay, well, not so much burning fat, metabolizing fat. Okay, so you can imagine the combination of these three in particular together, of being fat adapted, low carb diet, high intensity interval training, if you can do that. But there are other ways that you can do this. And of course, breath work. Now, you can do high intensity interval training simply with breath work as well. Okay, so even if you do not have the physical capabilities to do sprints, for example, either in the pool or on a bike or whatever, high intensity interval training can be mimicked with breath work as well. Okay, and you can see it in like like holotropic sort of breath work, and things like even the Wim Hof method and so on. So these are, there's great examples of how this can not just, it's obviously great for your health, your metabolic health, but even for cosmetic or physical or like visual sort of benefits that people are chasing these days. CO2 is a vital component to whatever you're trying to do, whether you're trying to increase performance, lose body fat, or so on, increase your health and so on, longevity and so on. So that's the article there, and I'll leave a link in the comments after the live, so you can go check that out and read that for yourself. It's worth the read. And of course, I would add another thing to this, because I believe cold therapy is also very good for the same reason, because you stimulate the brown adipose tissue production. Okay, you also brown white adipose tissue, and white adipose tissue is really mostly what we get where you get the visceral fat and so on, like that. So if you can brown that adipose tissue, you also produce more healthy adult mitochondria, because that's where it's produced. It's actually produced in the brown adipose tissue. And therefore you also are going to, and that the mitochondria actually shift around the body and into your blood and repair tissue and so on. So it also helps you to recover. But you also produce light, and that sort of, it also produces D3, And this is all part of metabolizing or oxidizing fat as well. So these are all great methods to speed things up, especially if you are obese, obviously, or even just sedentary. These simple tricks that don't take very long at all. You could do all of this inside of 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes each morning, and that will speed up your fat oxidation or metabolizing, um, twice as fast, maybe even 3 times faster than most other methods. Okay, so all right, let's just leave that there. Great. Well, so it's great to see everyone, and let me see. I'll try and catch up in the chat here. Oh, wow, everyone, I was sort of rambling on. Everyone's sort of talking in the background there. Yeah. Let me see, BK. Yeah, feeling a lot better from a heavy cold last week. Oh, good. Yeah. Laney, how you doing? Been a while, mate. Yes, happy Easter. Happy Easter to everyone. Jonathan, good to see you, mate. That was a good live. I saw you with Bart. Bart, was that early this morning? Yeah. Probably last night for you. Yeah. Hey, PK. Hey, beautiful. Josephine, good to see you. Very good. Jonathan, morning. Carnival muscle. Hey, Laney. Yep, Epoch. 12 to 24 hours. Jonathan's always on the ball. Yeah. I like to train 3 times per week with days in between. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. It's yin and yang. It'll keep the body adapting without getting into overtrained state. Yeah. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Thanks for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Howdy, Jonathan. Back soon, Josephine. Cool. I got diagnosed this week with lymphoma in my legs. Oh, that's not good. Laney, I bought a leg contraption to massage them. Okay. Thoughts on vibration plates? Yeah, vibration plates pretty good. Hoping it disappears as fast as it appeared. Yeah. Is it lymphoma, Laney, or lymphedema you're talking about? Lymphedema. Okay. Yeah, should be a bit surprised there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, lymphedema, much better diagnosis. Okay, much better. Yeah, vibration plates are good. Like a lot of the lymphedema is really just fluid that is not being circulated, right? A lot of these conditions really just come down to circulation. I mean, not always. I mean, there are other caveats to it. There are a lot of things, but yeah, I mean, a vibration plate is not going to hurt for sure. You can even get like these foot massages and soaking your feet in water, like warm water or even cold water. Actually, can be good for circulation. Even just like this is another thing too. It's exercising your calf muscles. Even just if you haven't been like if you're quite sedentary throughout the day, sort of thing. Even if you just sort of tap your feet, okay, this is going to help circulate everything back up to the rest of your body as well, and move fluids and so on. It's very simple things that you can do to help with these sort of things. That's not to say that it might not be something else as well, but give it a try. Yeah, I mean, vibration plates are good. They can be used for many different things as well. Even while exercising, for example, if you're standing on a vibration plate, you do some squats, for example. Very good for all the smaller muscle tissue and muscles that actually incorporate into balance. Anything that helps with balance, strength, and so on. Core strength as well. So yeah, they're not bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah. See how you go. I now honestly look like a complete twit wearing compression sleeve and now compression socks. Yeah, yeah. It happens, mate. It happens. Um, like I had I was dealing with the same thing with when I was in bed all the time. I'd have massive swells. My legs and my arms were. I mean, I couldn't really move them very much anyway. But obviously, I had a lot of fluid build up and had lymphedema and so on. I never really did anything for them for it. Actually, it sort of just dissipated when I started moving again. Of course, the diet and everything helped. The cold showers also helped me a lot. So yeah, went live with Harry in the morning. I actually caught the last 2 minutes of Harry's live. Actually, I got there just as I just found it. I typed in "G'day Harry" and he's saying "Goodbye everyone." So yeah, I missed that one. It would have been good. Yeah, I'll have to watch that later. Yeah. Live with Harry in the morning, but evening. Just got some bad news about okay. Unfortunately, let's go on. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Hope it's not too bad or too tragic. Yeah, I have a leg massage pad I use when I'm getting dead legs. Yeah, that's a good idea. It might help. Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things actually that can help you to get those fluids moving. Massage pads. There's if it's painful to stand up, for example, then standing on the vibration plate sort of might be a problem. Massages are really good. You can you can massage your calves yourself. You can if you run down the back of your calf muscles, okay. Just put your thumbs in and sort of run up and down your legs, sort of thing. It helps to stimulate a bit of contraction and push fluid up as well. There are things that you can, I mean, even, let me see. Oh, bands are great, actually. If you are lying down, bands are really good. You can put, if you got a circular band and you just put it, say, around the ball of your foot and hold it with both hands, and you can just do extensions like pronated extensions, or let me see, what do you call that? Anyway, just do extending the ball of your foot anyway, and pushing against the resistance of the bands, of the rubber bands. This will help you to bring in a lot more, or this will help you to stimulate the muscle group all around your calves, and push the fluid back up to your body as well. Maybe even elevate your feet a little bit as well while you're doing that. Yeah, it might help. I do think there is another problem with my right leg, so having investigation into that. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, see what happens. I was looking at those ones, and yeah, more than one. Thanks. Yep. Okay. Hello, Josephine. Back again. Cool. Yeah, again, people are welcome to join me tonight if you are in the mood to have a chat. Here is the link. So there was another thing I was talking about. We're talking about the CO2 levels. again, like the way we breathe also plays a role in the way in circulation as well. And I've probably going to get sick of me here talking about this, but when we produce, I mean, obviously, if you're breathing properly and not breathing too much volume or too often, then we are also producing CO2, which is a vasodilator. Okay, so it also is going to help relax the blood vessels, relax the muscles as well. Okay, but it also increases blood flow and circulation for other fluids as well. So because it is a vasodilator, but if you are breathing properly, you're also producing more nitric oxide as well, which is also a vasodilator. Okay, and has many other benefits around the body as well. So trying to, even though it's kind of difficult when you have problems like lymphedema, for example, but trying to relax, stay calm, and regulate your breathing is going to help as well. Okay. So Amazon, here I come. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. George will have to do some more overtime, mate. All right. So all good. It's been, that's great. Always great information to get from Jonathan, actually. So what else is there? Any questions? What else should we talk about tonight? How did you spend your Easter this weekend? Eating lamb, perhaps? Everyone's gone quiet. All right. So, actually, I'll post. Let me see. Optimizing fat oxidation. Actually, there was another one I did last week. Was the people recently have been, I don't know if you've seen it, if you go to the gym or not, but people exercising with mask on. Now, there's a number of reasons why people have been doing this. Because some people heard that it will pretty much, it kind of works like doing hyperbaric sort of training, right? Or training at high altitudes because you are struggling to breathe because of the mask, right? So it's one of these ridiculous sort of things that have come up. It's another trend, in the gym, and people don't understand the toxins that you are trying to get rid of when you breathe. It's kind of like a detox as well, because a lot of the chemicals that we absorb through our skin, through our food, and everything else that we around us, what we drink and so on, a lot of that also gets processed in our breath, the way when we breathe it out. Okay, so if you have a mask and that air is not, or that all those toxins are not being dispensed out in the air, so that you don't breathe it back in, sort of thing, you are basically poisoning yourself. And there's a lot of deadly toxins that you can get from wearing masks. So I'll just this is not new. Like, this is actually, if you go back to the Spanish flu, for example, there were a number of studies over the years, and I was like, on other platforms, I actually shared a lot of this information over the years when this scamdemic thing happened. But up to they predict that up to 50% of the death toll from the Spanish flu actually came about because people were wearing masks. They were wearing things across their face, and of course, what this does is these toxins that that you re-breathe in, they really attack your immune system. Okay. So wearing a mask when you go to the gym or you do any kind of sport, because I know a lot of people think, okay, it's restricting their breathing, so it's going to build up CO2 tolerance. That's not how it works. Okay. So a number of these was quite a few studies here that actually show all kinds of things that actually come in the mask, and the masks themselves also have a lot of polypropylene plastics and synthetic fibers that you are not only absorbing through your skin, but you are breathing into your skin. So there's a lot of microplastics that we get from everything around us anyway already. So doing this kind of thing is really quite dangerous, especially while you're sweating and so on. There's also heavy metals. It's quite. I mean, here it's like found that masks frequently release or contain high levels of micro and nanoplastics. Okay, VOCs, phthalates, like the DEHP. All kinds of PFAS, heavy metals, lead, cadmium, cobalt, and copper, antimony, and titanium dioxide. Okay. Now there are other compounds as well. This it's just a few of them, right? The fact that people think that, there's a number of ways that we can do this restricted breathing and CO2 tolerance training without wearing a mask. Okay. I can't believe people are even silly enough to try this after what's happened in the last 5 years or so. But there it is. People they think that they get some silly ideas in their head that, oh, this is going to help me train, sort of thing, and make me a better athlete. And no, this is not. This will actually attack the stuff that a lot of these things that are in these masks also are endocrine disruptors as well. They will attack your hormone production. They will lower, especially testosterone, D3. Obviously, it's going to have a huge effect later down the line and lower your blood cell production, EPO, and so on. And of course, destroy your immune system because you are not producing these hormones and the blood cells, including white blood cells, that you need to have a strong and healthy immune system. So the more you wear a mask, the sicker you are going to be. And actually, that's not just including with exercise. Okay, I'm talking about at any, even at rest. Okay, so I'll put this in the chat for you to have a read as well. So anyone that tells you to wear a mask or to or who is wearing a mask because they think that it's going to increase their CO2 tolerance, for example, is just absolutely bonkers. All right, it's a load of shite. All right, so there's the link for that one. And again, don't never put the mask on your face. Unless it's like you're in a gas chamber or something, you're going to need a gas mask sort of thing. That's a different situation. Okay. But these so-called surgical masks and so on, these are toxic things that people should not be wearing. And if you ever see the way they're actually made in people in the places that they are made, my God, you'd never want to touch them. Ooh, I'll have a rib steak later. Nice. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. I visited my brother, Grace, and baby Clara. Oh, cool. We had a meal out. I had a Diet Coke. Fair enough. Fair enough, mate. uh, having guinea fowl today. Okay, fair enough. Why not? Yeah. Painting golf balls. I wrote sayings on them, then chucked them over the fence. Okay. I had one howdy handsome. Wish I took pics. Just like to mess with people's minds, don't you? Yeah, most of the body fat we use is eventually breathed out. Yeah, in terms of weight, exactly. Yeah, like I think it's like out of 10 kilos of body weight or body fat that you lose, 8.4 of which you breathe out. Okay, so now that is, I mean, this is just an average number as well. It's not. I would be interested to see if that was done on efficient breathing as well. I think it could even be a better process, maybe. Um, but yeah, basically, most of the fat that you lose, you breathe it out. Okay, so you have to have. So another good reason why you need to be an efficient breather. Okay, that will speed things up for you a lot faster. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. Actually, Josephine, what you should do is set up a camera, and film people picking them up and saying like, "What the fuck is this?" That would be. You might get some good reactions out of that. Awesome barbecue Easter this year. Excellent. Geordie hosted. She did well. Everything a barbecue needed. Very good. Well, anything barbecue needs is meat, isn't it? Yeah. Um, we're going to do every holiday. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. I wondered what those masks were from. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a silly thing. Honestly, people would think that it's kind of like I said, they're trying to build CO2 tolerance and be more efficient breathers, but they just don't know what they're doing, and what they are doing is really attacking their immune system and making them weaker and so on. So, but it's a crazy world. People do crazy stuff. I think it was a social experiment to see how complicit they would be with their chosen enslaved. Oh yeah, for sure. It was an IQ test that most of them failed. And but this is the thing. It's not the first time. The Spanish flu was another one, and I mean, history, they keep doing this. These same people doing the same stuff, and people just have the memory of a goldfish, unfortunately. If I wore one of those masks and my compression gear, I'd get arrested for impersonating Hannibal. uh, yes, yeah, I'm sure it would give him a smile, Josephine. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Games, music. We played John together strong. Okay, yep. Carnival summer. Everyone liked it. Oh, good. That's very good. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. It's good to relax and spend a bit of time with friends and family, have a barbecue, and just appreciate the time that you have together as well. That's very good. Good way to do it. So excellent. Alrighty. Yeah, I think these mask trends actually is just another one of those crazy things that it's like the barefoot stuff as well. People in the gym start like some influencer. You can tell these trends are started by influencers, right? Because influencers are just full of shit that they have no idea what they're talking about. And just a few years ago, someone started doing barefoot squats and things like that. You do it barefoot so you get like seriously, like you're really opening up, like any gym that sort of lets them do this is really opening themselves up to a lawsuit. um, you know uh, 99% of gyms, the rule, one of the number one rules are to wear fully enclosed shoes. I've always found that the best shoes to wear at the gym for lifting weights and so on are just flats like Vans. I've used Vans for, I don't know, 20 years or so. They're fantastic. They're flat. You get direct. You sort of get that direct energy through into the floor, and because you have that rubber sole, you have a very strong grip as well. There's no chance of people in their socks. Like, it's ridiculous the crap they do in their socks. They've got no grip. They've got no stability there. So, but whatever. You just see these stupid trends, and it all started because of stupid bloody influences and so on. But that's what people do. They're sheep. The evil elite don't think how we do. Day to day, exactly. They think about their legend and what will happen when they are not about. That's dangerous, as they have no accountability. That's the thing, isn't it? This is another thing about it. This is another good reason why you need to be in control of your health as well. And I think the last 5 years should have shown that to everyone. If they haven't woken up, then there's something wrong with them, honestly. Giving your health, like the same with the politics, right? When you take no notice of what politicians are doing, they're just going to do whatever they want. Okay. And same thing with your health. If we give over our health to bureaucrats or even to doctors who have no accountability, like, what do you expect is going to happen? I think it's Thomas Sowell's like, there's a quote that Thomas Sowell, I can't really remember off the top of my head, but Thomas Sowell, I really love Thomas Sowell. He's one of my favorites. But he said there's nothing more foolish than was it giving control over to people or giving control of decisions or something about over to people who have no accountability, right? And in that respect, okay, you can see it with the politicians and the people that actually run our politicians, like the elites and so on, or they call themselves elite, but honestly they're not. Like Gates and that, they have no accountability. But honestly, neither does your doctor. There's no accountability for them giving you the wrong health information. There's no accountability for that, is there? They keep telling you to eat fiber. They keep telling you to eat this and eat that. They have no training, no knowledge of nutrition at all in health. The only thing they know is disease and drugs, and that's it. And we just willingly give over our health to other people, to all these, doesn't matter whether it's doctors, hospitals, or bureaucrats and so on. And they face no accountability for being wrong, So this is in itself the reason why we should be more responsible with our health and be responsible enough to take control and keep control of our health if we can. Even if you are stuck in this hospital system like I was for many years, there are still things that you can do to improve your chances. Okay, don't give everything over to people who have no accountability, because they don't care. They do not care whether you live or die. They do not care if you are healthy or not. They don't care what your lifestyle is like, because it's not going to affect their lifestyle. Okay, so I think it's really important that you do take control, some level of control, as much as you can, to ensure that your health, or that you improve your health and take care of yourself. So be more independent. I wear a thin sole, yeah, wide, yeah, toe box trainer, yeah, yeah, grippy, but not so thick that I feel like I'm wearing heels, etc. Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, yeah. You don't need stilettos. You're tall. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think there's so many crazy, stupid trends out there that people think that they're going to make themselves into. I mean, but that's the way people are. That they will do anything and everything. They'll try anything and everything if they get this promise that um, this will make you a better athlete, or this will you'll build more muscle doing this, and so on and so on. It's just the way people are. They want the quick, easy fix. They want um, to say like I've got it. Um, I'm doing everything I can, sort of thing, no matter what it is. And they don't care about the health consequences as long as they get big, or as long as they get their goal, sort of thing. But they don't realize that some of these goals or some of these, you know, hacks or something that they are using at the moment are actually taking them in the wrong direction. You know, yeah. I'm very tall. I'm surprised I haven't shrunk with the spine stuff. Yeah, actually, yeah, you might be right. And onto something there. It is a bit surprising. Yeah, you should be about 5'5" by now. Yeah, or closer to 5 foot anyway. Yeah, but anyway, that's the way people are. So it's a crazy old world. It really is. Hopefully, well, I know things are going to get worse for a while yet, but hopefully we can dig ourselves out of it and take a bit more responsibility for ourselves, perhaps. Um, what else is there? Yeah, you got any questions, guys? Hmm? So, hmm, talking about Easter holidays now. I think here in Australia, I think kids have got 2 weeks vacation now, but yeah, it's kids today. The health crisis that we are in, like in Australia. Talking about Australia, the the amount of kids that spend so much time, like when they're on vacation, they don't go outside and do holiday stuff. They don't go. I mean, some kids go camping if they're lucky, sort of thing. But the vast majority of kids these days are sitting in front of the TV and playing games and so on. Like the TV is pretty much the babysitter, you know. So I was wondering if hanging can. I was wondering if, or wondering. I was wondering if hanging can help with the back. Yes, it can, very much. Like hanging from monkey bars. Yeah, yeah. I loved that as a kid. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a funny thing. Like when you're a kid, do you ever notice like how easy it was to do that sort of stuff? Like we used to do like just climbing and stuff like that, and using monkey bars, and like, that was all dead easy when I was a kid. It's bloody hard now. But yeah, hanging's really good actually, Josephine. It really helps to realign the spine for one. It also helps to space out the vertebra in the spine, because you just normal day-to-day living, sitting in a chair, you get a lot of compression. Okay, it's just gravity, you know. Especially if you're top heavy, you get a lot of compression down on the spine. So hanging is really good for that. To help sort of space things out again. That's why there's also there's a number of machines or a number of things you can do to hang upside down as well, because you are usually like heavier upper body for most people, depending on the person, of course. But there are things like gravity boots. You can hang from a pull-up bar, hang upside down, and so on, which is easier for some people if they don't have the grip strength, for example, to hang. But hanging, just dead hang, is really good. Just a straight up dead hang. You just, it's really very good also for your shoulders. It helps to pull out the scapula and sort of realign the shoulders a bit. And it really does, it really is a very good exercise just to do. It's also good for your grip strength because you have to hold on. So you can do this on the bar or on gymnastics rings. Actually, I think I keep meaning to do this. Actually, I keep meaning to talk about, bang for buck. Even for dead set beginners, gymnastics rings are a very good piece of equipment that people can buy at home, for home, their home gym. It can actually work really well to help get people mobile again as well, because you can use them to assist you to do a full body workout. You can use them to help you do squats, do hangs, like I just talking about hangs to sort of realign the spine, realign the shoulders, and sort of it also helps to relax all those muscles that are actually in the around the shoulders and around the scapula as well. Even like the rhomboid muscles that sort of between your, like on top of the erector spinae group, they sort of run up and down the spine. And then you've got the rhomboid sort of thing, and they get sort of they tend to get pretty tight, even though if you have bad posture, you have kind of round shoulders. Okay, so that you're putting all those muscles, your upper trapezius, your trapezius muscle, and the rhomboids and everything, are all under contraction, and they start to stay that way. They stay at that length because you have bad posture. Okay, and it gives you the round shoulder sort of thing. Hanging is really good for that, to sort of help open up everything as well. It's sort of, that would also give you tight pectoral muscles, also pectoral nerves. So hanging, I think, is also very good for the sort of relaxing the shoulders and pulling them back a bit. Stretching the pectoral nerve and obviously the pectoral muscles as well does help for the shoulders. But just dead hanging is also a very good exercise to do. So I recommend it for anyone, actually. Everyone should do that. Even like, say, if you do, say, 3 to 4 30-second holds, each day, that's all you need. You'll be surprised at how much more relaxed you'll feel. You might even feel a bit taller, actually, because you're spacing out the spine a bit and so on. So dead hangs are really good, very good for you, actually. Children, the children certainly have. Yeah, I had 2 of the grandchildren at the end of last week. Yeah. Is there a point in your breathwork and biohacking that you feel you reached your potential, i.e. 5 minutes, XYZ? No, I don't think so. Because when it comes to like things like breath holds, for example, right? Like I said, like the world record for holding your breath underwater is 24.5 minutes, right? So it's like anything, like any sort of exercise. I think that you get to a point where you just, okay, yeah, you're very good at, maybe very good at something, but you always want to progress, and you always can progress. You can still make progress. Like a runner can always run faster, right? There's only, I guess there is only so much a runner can actually do, for example, or a human can do. But I don't think there's when it comes to breath work, I think there doesn't seem to be a limit to where people can sort of reach. I think it's one of those things where you can always make progress. I mean, I'd love to be able to get to that, like 24 and a half minutes is just that's incredible to me. Um, when it comes to like sprinters, for example, like 10 seconds or around is like super fast, and it does, these records last for like 100 years. I know Usain Bolt at the moment is the fastest in the world, but I don't know. I think breathwork is different. I think there's more potential there for the human body to produce. Um, I mean, I definitely, when it comes to the benefits of it, though, I think there's definitely a limit. It's definitely there would be a ceiling. For example, you don't want to have too much CO2 or too much nitric oxide, but I don't think the body has. I don't think you could do that in the body unless you are taking it exogenously. Like this has happened with nitric oxide before, where people have taken external nitric oxide and have had too much of it. You know, but the body itself, I don't think it would ever be able to produce too much for the body to handle. So I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I think the only barrier it'd be a mental barrier. Like for like holding your breath, for example, I find a lot of that, like 95% of that is mental, really. Being able to hold your breath and stay calm and relaxed for a prolonged period of time. I think that would also make progress as well. You would, as you, the same as you do anything, you get, as you get more comfortable with it, the more comfortable you are holding your breath for longer periods. But certainly physiological benefits, there would always be a limit. There would always be a ceiling. Mental wise, and like for example, holding your breath for a long period of time, I think that can always make progress. I think. I mean, that guy that did it, he broke the world record, like he did 24 and a half minutes. He's still trying to go longer. So, who knows? I do dead hangs at the end of my workouts usually. That just stretches out my upper back, really. Yeah, yeah. It's great for the shoulders. Sure, yes, I would be. Yeah. Daughter limits the time children can watch TV. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, computer. They are always out in the country discovering things throughout the holidays. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's very good. That's good parenting. Like social media, especially, is very addicting. But so are games. Like games are incredibly addicting. You know. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. Hmm. Annabella, how you doing? Good to see you. How was your Easter, Annabella? Did you eat more lamb? You're seeing surgeons tomorrow. Cool. Okay, very good. Well, good luck with that. Okay. Hopefully it all goes well and soon. You know. Mm, yeah. So yeah, hopefully they'll do something about it for you as well. But a step in the right direction, hopefully. So yeah, very cool. I'd be interested to see. I mean, and just going back to Jonathan's question, like seeing the upper limits of breath work. Is there a point in your breath work biohacking that you feel you reached your potential? Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, really, it just comes down to, like, I mean, obviously, there's going to be a ceiling of like, um, like metabolic health or metabolic bonuses and like benefits and so on. But I think that, yeah, I really think it just comes down to like training your nervous system and training your mental resilience to be able to hold your breath for a long period. I don't think there is, um, well, I don't know. If I get to 24 and a half minutes, I'll let you know. you know, I'd like to do that, but we'll see. And I cook some, okay, some minced meat today. No lamb today, Annabella. Oh, wow. How was your Easter, Annabella? What did you eat for Easter? Uh, did you have lamb on the weekend? Mm. So, let me see. There are, oh, sorry, Lenny. Lots of offers in our supermarkets over Easter. Grape rumps, beef. Yeah, cool. Had one on Friday. Very good. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, it's always good to be like pick up as much as you can when it's on sale, isn't it? Like last week, I actually managed to get whole rump for $13 a kilo, which was like super cheap. Like usually they're around $18 to $20 a kilo. So anytime, man, anytime. Um, I was keep wondering what changed, Johnson, since I saw him last time. I think you trimmed your beard, Jonathan. Jonathan, maybe, uh, or me. Yes, I shaved. Actually, shaved it off completely. It's growing back quick though. I had rabbit on Friday. Oh wow! She ate the Easter bunny. Annabella ate the Easter bunny. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. The psychology of these extreme people fascinates me too. Um, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of people, obviously, and there's all kinds of um, influences that sort of throw people off or push people to do things that we sometimes find extraordinary. This dude, like, I can't imagine doing 24 and a half minutes like that, and like that's a pretty extreme thing. Like there are all kinds of, I mean, there's a number of crazy people out there too. You see, it's like, skydivers, they do this, and there's flying suits. You've seen people in those flying suits, like that amazes me too. Like they have zero fear at all. Like, yeah, just that it's quite fascinating, really, that some of these people have zero fear of jumping out of a plane or jumping off a cliff and flying in these suits and so on. I suppose they sort of build up to these things, but it's and of course they train their nervous system to cope with these sort of things. But it is pretty fascinating, the kind of the mentality or the mindset of these people who are um, even professional athletes. Like when they are at that level, the mindset that they have. Like I said, like before, like they will do absolutely anything, no matter what it is, to get to the top or to be the best, regardless of health issues, regardless of how it's going to affect anything around them or their health or so on. And some people are motivated by money. Yes, some are, but that motivation still to do that is pretty interesting stuff. Hmm. We were talking about rabbit yesterday. Had I did indulge in an Easter bunny on Friday. Okay. Ah, there we go. George, how you doing, mate?
DC, how's it going? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent.
Good to
Oh,
see you.
yeah, it's good to be here. It really is. I've been. Life's a bit chaotic at the moment, so I thought I'd give you
Yeah,
an hour or so to get played in while I was doing other things in the background. Lainey's
yeah.
been in chat, as you know. I've been sat at the table with her, but I've been doing
Fair enough.
that.
Yep.
And it gives us an hour or
Yeah,
so.
good to see you, mate. Hmm. Yeah, I
Great to
didn't
be
do
here.
this on Saturday, so yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know. We were
How's
waiting for
your
you, and you didn't
weekend?
show.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's been
mate.
brilliant.
Sorry, mate.
Actually. Yeah, no
Good.
worries. It's been great fun. Yeah, life is pretty
Oh, that's
chaotic at the
good.
moment. I've got three major projects in progress. One of which is my day
Okay.
job. I've recently changed jobs, which I started last Monday.
Yep.
Today's bank holiday here in the UK, so we're on day off. I'm also, as you know, the self-appointed ambassador to the world from the UK, from the carnivore community, and that has actually been ratified by the entire world. And this morning I've been organising. Do you know Angela Lero?
No. No.
Angela, she's a fantastic ambassador for the carnivore community from LA. She's a great friend of Robert Kiltz's. She's a great friend of Scott Everson. She will be speaking at Meatstock. She will be speaking at the Great British Meetup in June. She had a mastectomy age 28. She had Lyme disease and she had problems with mold. So she's turned her life around using the carnivore way of life. She's only
Yep.
40, but she's absolutely fantastic. She's a real warrior out in our space. So yeah, look up Angela Lero when you get the chance.
Okay.
You'll
Yeah.
find her.
Sure.
Very pretty girl, and just full of positivity. You know, she's fought back from nothing. So I've been talking to her over in California. So obviously she was at the end of her day. I was at the very beginning of mine. But
Yeah.
she's flying in with Robert Kiltz on Thursday, June the 11th. So we're just organising hotels and lifts from the airport and that sort of thing. There's a lot of hard work involved with being the ambassador. So it's and it's a bit
What was
chaotic.
the last name? Angela.
Lero, Lerro.
Angela Lero. Does she have a YouTube channel? Or?
Yeah, she does. Meat-based medium, I think.
Oh, okay.
Top of my head.
Meat-based medium.
I think so. Yeah, if I remember
Meat-based.
rightly. But if you look up Angela Lero, you should find her on YouTube.
Yeah, the meat-based medium. Can't find a channel, but
Okay, she might. In that case, it might not be a channel. It might just be a website or something.
yeah.
But she's on loads of people's channels. We had her on Carnival Sunday School back before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
She's a very good friend of mine. Actually, it was I met her by accident, if you like. Whilst I was over in Wyoming, there was a lady there called Laurie Tibbetts, who's a great friend of hers, and she phoned Laurie, and I was minding my own business, and Laurie put the phone on to me, so I had a good half-hour chat with Angela, and we've been great friends ever since. Hence,
Cool.
I've managed to secure her to come over to speak at the meetup. She will be opening the speeches, followed by Jonathan, and then lunch, and then after lunch it will be Abs, and then Richard Smith, and we're going to be finishing with Robert Kiltz. So it's a stellar lineup when you think about it. It really is. You know,
Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I've just been organising Angela's accommodation for
How long are each talk?
40 minutes. No, 40 minutes for until Kilt. And we've allowed Kilt, I think, an hour, because if we didn't allow him an hour, he'd just take it anyway. So,
yeah, he's a good talker.
He is.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
It's on Facebook.
I mean, Lainey's just pointing out the fact that you won't be able to find her because you're not on Facebook, but she's on Facebook for anybody who wants to look her up as Angela Christine So she uses her middle name as her last name on Facebook.
Yeah.
And she's very, very active on Facebook. So that's if anybody's interested, go and find her. Just say you're a carnivore, and she will, no question about that. And I'm organising all that, plus the fact that I also run a horse racing betting operation, which is successful. And I've just found out this morning that the company I use have imposed further restrictions on my account, which means that they've actually reduced my maximum stake to a ridiculous 8 pence per unit, 8 English pence per unit. So, the thing is that with these betting companies, they're willing to take your money very rapidly, but as soon as you prove yourself successful, they just impose restrictions on you. It's criminal. It really is. But so I've been looking for alternative companies this morning. It's I think doing it, but it's just ridiculous. If you're a successful gambler, the big company.
Yeah. No, that's right.
It's three big things in life now: my day job, my role in the carnivore community, and I run a successful betting operation as well. So there isn't much time for anything else, really. So it's,
not much time. Yeah.
No, and it's been a great weekend. I was on with Kilts on Sunday for his Sunday Live, on with Grandma yesterday morning, as I usually am. Tuned in to Bart when he did his with Jonathan last night. So yeah, it's been a very busy weekend on the ECU actually for us. So it's been good fun. It really has. But I've got some great news about the day job. Because not last Friday, but the Friday before, I think I might have told you this already, but I had a safety critical medical because I work for a tier 1 company, construction company, and they insist everybody is fit and healthy to the point where you're not dangerous on site. You're not going to have a heart attack while you're operating plant, or in my case, directing plant. And the result of that safety critical medical was that I have at the age of 60, I have the metabolic health of somebody below the age of 35. So that's a great victory in the game of life. My hearing has improved. The last safety critical I had was in December of 22, when I wasn't yet carnivore. I was only low carb and keto. And since that time, my eyesight has improved. My hearing has improved. My blood pressure has now finally, after 4 years, decided to go down to where it's supposed to be, which is it was 123/81, and that was in a white coat syndrome situation. So I was stressed. So that was good. And also I had to do all the flexibility tests, the turning the head and the squatting, and I passed that with 100%. Previously, in December 22, there was evidence of arthritis in my neck. I wasn't able to turn my head to look over my shoulder properly. That is all gone. There is no evidence of arthritis now in my neck at all. So yeah, the result was absolutely astounding. To be reckoned to be below the age of 35 when you're 60, I think is a fantastic result.
Yeah,
and then the following Monday, and I haven't told you about this one yet because I haven't seen you since. And that was I started work, and I was chatting to the assistant site manager and telling him about the results of my safety critical medical. He asked me, what do you put it down to? I said, I put it down to nutrition. He said, that's interesting. He said, I'm really interested in the ketogenic lifestyle. He said, I've tried carnivore a couple of times and I'd like to go back onto carnivore. I said to him, I am a carnivore. Oh, that's fantastic. You can help me get back onto it. So straight away, really? It's just amazing. We are getting everywhere now, Dave. The word is well and truly out there. Yeah. He's got a great name. His name is Libby, which he hates because obviously it's usually Elizabeth. I said, have you ever heard of the film The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance? He's only 40, so no, I never heard of that. I said, no, that's probably where the name comes from. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, my grandfather was called Liberty. I said, well, that's what it is then, Libby. It's short for Liberty, not for Elizabeth. Oh, yeah. So I made him feel better about his name as well. So I now have a
Yeah, it's probably been a 40-year burden. Everyone
it
calling him
has.
Libby.
It literally has. Because he said to me, he said, "Oh, I see your surname is good enough." He said, I bet you've taken some stick over that over the years. He said, a bit like me with the name Libby. So I was able to make him feel better about carnival and make him feel better about his name as well. So I now have a very good bonding with the assistants.
It reminds me of that Johnny Cash song that that boy named Sue.
A boy named Sue, absolutely. It's very true. Yeah, so I've built straight away. I built a really good relationship with authorities for a change, because I don't do authority very well. So yeah, it was a very successful week. I've made myself very popular by getting things right as well, and by contributing to the site safety. So yeah, that's me for the summer basically. I'm very happy about that, and it's quite a well-paid job as well.
So you're enjoying the job then?
Oh yeah, very much enjoying the job. It's a very friendly team. Pretty straightforward job, so that's great. It will pay for my 2 weeks off in June when the Americans come over to visit me, and also it will pay for me and Lainey to get to the Impact Festival in Kalamazoo, run by Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grandma. So yeah, I can't complain about life at the moment. Life is starting again at the age of 60. I never expected that, DC. I never expected to have a second bite at the cherry at the age of 60. I thought I was on my way down. But no, I'm on my way back up again.
Well, that's what they want us to believe, isn't it?
I know,
they get to the retirement age and everything goes down, goes fall apart,
Yeah, but no, I'm just re-embarking on a second teenage life again now. So just starting over. The thing is, they expect us to be finished by the age of 67 here in the UK. That's our state pension age now. But I don't foresee myself as finishing. What I do foresee myself is maybe cutting back on the actual taking short-term contracts in the summer, just to top the money up. But the mortgage will be gone by that time. So that so if myself and Lainey can live off our state pension, and then any money which I make during the summer at work will then go towards international travel to get to see people like yourself over maybe two foreign trips a year after the age of 67. Get to maybe even get to Australia. You never know. And certainly, definitely America. And I think that Alia Wells would like to host a meetup down in Colombia. So yeah, international travel. That's the name of the game. And I thought my international travel days were over when I was 133 kilograms, 293 pounds, because I couldn't fit in an aircraft seat anymore. But I can now. So yeah, life is exciting, Dave. It really is. I just can't believe it.
It is that. Yeah.
Right,
yeah, I agree, man. I feel like I'm just getting started now too, And that's
and Lainey, as you know, Lainey feels exactly the same way. Since she decided to finally let you in on February the 1st, her attitude to life has changed, and she's looking forward now to being a cancer and no longer being the cancer victim. So it's
no, that's good.
It's great for all of us. It really is. So really looking forward to it.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. So lots of years of travel for both of you is good.
That's the plan. Yeah, 2028. We've got penciled in to come and visit you and Mrs. DC over in. Sorry, I don't know your wife's first name. Over in Miyagi province, and I've already warned Mr. Mac that we will be coming over. In fact, it was when he put his latest Bell Shine video on. And I actually did say, DC's invited us over, so I want to come for a private date with you, Belle, and leave that Dave Mack bloke at home, because we don't want him getting in the way of our true love, do we? So, and Dave did, in fact, stick a heart on it, so he's aware of the fact that that me and Lainey do plan to come and disturb his peace in 2028.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to maybe do a trip down to Osaka, actually. It's quite nice down there, actually.
Yeah, we got Setsuko. Well, we got Setsuko as well, who's 4.5 hours away from you. She's a recent coach, and she's interested as well. When we come over, she said we might be able to meet up somewhere along, halfway between or something. I'm not sure where she is, but she says it's 4.5 hours from Miyagi province to where she is. So it might be possible to organise it.
Yeah, that could either be like maybe Hokkaido or maybe Tochigi down south.
Yeah. Next time I speak to Setsuko, because obviously she's a Kilts health coach, so we have direct contact. I would ask her, and I'll get back to you on that one.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, that'd be fun actually. Maybe do a meetup. We'll go to a yakiniku or something like that. It'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. If we can get Dave, Setsuko, and ourselves, then that'll be a good little meetup. And if we can find, no, I'll leave it to you to find the suitable place. If we can
cool.
make it happen, it'd be really good.
Okay, no worries. So Annabella spent her weekend eating the Easter bunny.
Yeah, I heard that. Yes. Yeah, Laney's just been complaining.
It's not enough. She's been stealing all the farmers' lambs.
Yeah. Yeah, Laney's complained all weekend that I didn't get her an Easter bunny, but I think it's I'm just looking after her health, really.
George wouldn't let her eat one. Yeah. I had lamb yesterday. Oh, good. Yeah. I did say no to an Easter egg church there. Oh, good girl. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. Lamb. Yeah, that's what Jesus would eat. Or fish. Oh no. I allow 1 or 2 Easter eggs and birthday cake on my birthday. I don't go off the rails. Yeah, that's fair enough. There's no harm in that. Once or twice a year, or even every now and then, it's not going to hurt. So it's good. George gives it the evil stare, right? That's no good. Hey, howdy, George. Hey, George. Hello, George.
Hi, hello, Jonathan.
I did have a nice Easter. Thank you, Annabella. It was kind of busy. I spent most of it outside, actually, doing things around the yard and so on. But it was good to be outside, and it was perfect weather, all weekend. So it was good. Yeah, basically all I did. Can't wait to have a good ramble. Yeah.
Are we talking or walking, Jonathan?
Yeah.
So I'm quite good at rambling on.
Time to cook dinner. Meat and egg burger. Oh, no bun. Sounds good.
It certainly does.
Yeah, it does. I've got a sugar pot thing in my fridge for 6 years untouched. Well done. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll get rid of it. I do keep sugar in my house for visitors. I'm never tempted by it. Well done. That's really good, Annabella. I try not to keep. I mean, I have gotten better with that, like keeping things like that in the house. But generally speaking, I don't keep anything like that in the house. If it's there, I'll either eat it or throw it away. So any guests will, they'll just have to deal with what I've got. Simple as that. They say he wouldn't notice if I moved to Japan, apart from there wouldn't be any steaks in the fridge. Lenny does the shopping.
Certainly does, yes.
Yeah. Cooking dinner now. Pot of sugar for guests and family only. Yeah. Check the burger. What should we talk about? Lenny, what should we talk about? Okay.
What am I talking about? He's talking about his talk at the meetup.
Yeah. Oh, okay. At the meetup. Yeah. Actually, I'd love to be able to go over there and watch that. It'd be good to see all these people speak.
Well, you never know, Dave. I mean, it's certainly not going to be the last one. And in the future, who knows? We don't know what the future holds. So possibly. I think you said you wanted to come and visit Glastonbury, so we can probably tie it all in.
Sure. I'd like to do that. Yeah. Get rid of all those bloody invaders first. Yeah, dinner's ready. I'll post the photo on the channel. Okay. Look forward to seeing it. George isn't smoothing me. It's Hamish.
I've got some company now called Hamish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
There is Hamish.
Yeah, good day, Hamish.
He doesn't like being picked up, so I won't hold him for too long. But this is Hamish, the little ginger cat. He's only a little cat.
Joe brought me a luxury strawberry white chocolate Easter egg. Got to wait until after the World Finals in November. That sucks. That's torture, mate. That's a long wait. Yeah, but good luck with that. It's worth it. It's worth the wait, mate. I mean, yeah, you got to put the work into to get to those goals, don't you? So it's worth it. So yeah. So what else is going on, George? Have you been doing anything with your channel?
Go on.
Have you been doing anything with your channel?
No, because basically I just haven't, as I explained to you earlier, Dave, I just haven't got time, I haven't got the technical ability. So what I've done is I've mothballed the channel. What I like to do is be a bit of a nomad on YouTube. In other words, I've got a few channels such as your own that I like to appear. I nearly always go on with Dr. Kilts on Sunday because he nearly always calls me on anyway because he likes to put the streamline up as you do. I go on with Grandma on a Sunday morning, Barbara. Always go on for a couple of hours with her. I've now got a good relationship with Jerry Griggs in the middle of a forest. She's a Kilts health coach. I was on with two hours on Friday, on my Friday evening, before I was going to come on with you, but obviously you didn't go. So my voice is nearly gone anyway by that time. So it was quite good. Yeah, what I do on YouTube now is I basically follow. I go on other people's channels, so I'm a nomad on YouTube now, and I think that my role is better because my own channel. I if I had time, if I didn't have the day job, I would probably develop it, but I haven't got the time because, as I said, I've got those three major roles of running a horse racing operation, being the global ambassador for the UK Carnival community, and also the day job. So. And also, of course, as Elaine keeps reminding me, I have a marriage to run as well, a household to run, and she sometimes feels that and
it takes work too. It takes work.
Yeah, so I am definitely guilty of neglecting that on occasion, shall we say? And she reminds me constantly. So,
well, they'll always do that. They'll always remind you of that.
I do my best, but it's hard work. It really is because life has just changed so much. When you think about it, when myself and Lainey got married 20 years ago, I didn't even have a mobile phone, let alone have a device which keeps me in contact with the world. It's just hugely different. Friends back in those days were somebody you met down the pub. So you made the occasional phone call perhaps, but you weren't constantly in touch with people. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because I've got friends now from Queensland to Quebec to California, and it's the world is different, and it kind of for all that's brilliant, it's very time consuming, as you know yourself. So it's life has changed, and without the carnivore energy, I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. Even then, I mean, for the last 8 months, I've been surviving on 5 to 6 hours sleep a night, but it's finally caught up to me, and I am having to be more gentle with myself now and getting back to 7 or 8 hours sleep a night. I'm hoping that I can recover in time because obviously the next big event is June, so I've got 2 months to recover for that. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get myself fully energized again for June because I've got so many visitors coming over, and I'm running days out, tourist events, and that sort of thing are based around the meetup. But I'm going to need every ounce of energy and every ounce of carnivore clarity that I can muster. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a challenge.
I mean, the other thing is too is it's one thing to, bring information to people and trying to advocate for the carnivore diet, for example, but you still have to take care of your health as well. So again, you need your sleep. Sleep is vital. It's not like I said, it's not just. I mean, it'd be great if it was just eat meat and everything's good. You could stay away for 24 hours and do whatever. But there's a lot more to it. So
Yeah,
There's no, you're
I tried living
not
that
going to do
lifestyle
anyone
for a
any
long time,
favors
but
if you get sick, you know.
yeah, exactly. So I've got to be a bit more gentle with myself when it comes to sleep. So
Yeah.
there's no question about that. But
Yeah.
you know, I've managed to establish myself in the minds of the certainly the USA community and the Australian community now and the Canadian. So hopefully I've done the hard yards, and now I don't need to just be constantly working all the time. I don't think I'm going to disappear from people's minds. So it's I can be a bit gentler with myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should be. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jonathan's talk is going to be about his health experience, exercise, useful things he's found helpful, and so on.
Yeah,
It'd be a good talk.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah. Posted a photo. I'm going to go eat now, friend. Enjoy your meal, Annabelle. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave? Can we just talk about lamb and America?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
America doesn't seem to be lamb orientated as Australia and the UK are. It's not good enough. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Danny. Yeah. So for example, we've got Juliet Edens, Coach Juliet Edens. She's got a good YouTube channel, by the way, and her husband Doug coming over in June. And Juliet has never, in her entire 61 years of life, eaten lamb. Never once. And she's a bit nervous about coming over because we told her that we're going to introduce her to lamb, and she's afraid that she won't like it. But there just doesn't seem to be the lamb.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird actually. When I first went to Japan, actually, most people were like they don't like lamb because they don't like the smell of it when it's cooking and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
It's only, and even now, like it's pretty rare to find it, but it's only just started sort of getting a little bit more popular.
Yeah, exactly. If
I
you were to say to me, what one food would you eat for the rest of your life if you had just one? It would be lamb over beef, definitely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure, yeah. I think like America was always cattle country, it was always beef, I mean, they do have a lot of sheep, but not anything like we do here in Australia. There's more sheep than there are people, Same with New Zealand.
I'll give you an example of this. Sheep farmers or sheep ranchers were demonized in America.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because there are two films that I can tell you about. That one was called The Sheep Man, starring Glenn Ford, I think. He was the sheep man, and basically it was his battle against the beef barons. About how the problems he had there. The other one was the beginning of a John Wayne film. It might have been Big Jake, or it might have been the Sons of Casey Elder. I can't remember. But the opening scene is him rescuing a sheep farmer from being hung from a tree by the local cattle by the local cattlemen.
Yeah.
So within arts and culture, there is quite a lot of references to the fact that the beef barons hated the arrival of sheep in America. And I think that is still there to this day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, they were definitely like the beef barons are sort of controlled like that's the meat market in America, especially like early parts of America. But and it's a weird situation, honestly. I don't understand why it would be such a problem for them, because there's so many different things that you can get from lamb and sheep and so on. But I mean, Australia is I think it's always been big on lamb. Like we've had, I mean, it was like the meat of the country basically. It was more popular. It was always more popular than beef.
Yeah, exactly.
We have so many sheep here though too.
Yeah. Sorry, just a message from Lainey. She's going shopping, and she's taking you with her and on the phone. But she says, apologies, but she's gone shopping. But
no worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, got to get your feet. Got to get your meat.
It's not actually. It's not meat. It's we're painting the fence at the moment, so it's got something to do with that. This is obviously it's a spring clean. Juliet and Doug are coming over here in June, and we are hosting Juliet's birthday party in our backyard. So Lainey is very anxious that everything should be spick and span for our VIP visitors. So,
Fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
she's it's 10:30 in the morning here. My next appointment in the carnival world after this is a 9 o'clock WhatsApp call with Angela over in California. So I have about 10 hours in which Lainey can put me to work.
Well, I'll try and keep you talking as long as I can, mate.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can, we got a guinea fowl for dinner this evening. Again, I mentioned guinea fowl to my American friends. Hardly anybody's ever heard of it. It's not something which we can get it very readily in the supermarkets over here. But
Well, yeah,
a few
like
people,
I can like birds. I mean, especially like all kinds of birds, like in the UK, have always been quite popular too because obviously, like especially like for the poorer people, beef was never really available for the peasants. So they just ate whatever they could find. Rabbits and
obviously chicken is your go-to poultry, but we also have a market for pheasants over here because it is a game bird over here. Partridge. Guinea fowl is you can get it quite readily. Ducks and geese very readily, and turkey as well. Pigeon, you can get the wild pigeon sometimes in restaurants. I used to shoot pigeon when I was younger, so I'm very familiar with pigeons. So we have quite a major poultry market over here.
Yeah, we have neighbours actually bought a couple of guinea fowl, and the bloody thing spend most of the time over here eating the food with the ducks. So I don't know. I might cook those two things up too. So they're good size. They fit the oven nicely.
They're incredibly loud as well, guinea fowl, because I worked on a pheasant.
They're annoying. Yeah,
I worked on a pheasant rearing farm once, and the gamekeeper decided to introduce a few guinea fowl in amongst the baby pheasants. And when you were catching them, you could tell because you couldn't really, as chicks, there wasn't a lot of difference. But you knew you had a guinea fowl chick in your hands because when you picked it up, boy, did it let you know that it was objective being. Yeah, they are very loud. Yeah. And of course, we get peacocks over here as well, but I don't think they're a popular dish over here. They're an ornamental bird. I wouldn't mind trying one though, I must admit. And then, of course,
I don't imagine they taste too different to a chicken.
I would have thought so. They're a jungle.
They're
a jungle
size.
fowl.
Yeah,
because obviously chickens were originally jungle fowl as well.
Yeah,
and then of course we have the swans, which belong to His Majesty, so we're not allowed to go and get those. But I'm sure that some get misappropriated along the way sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would. Yeah. We got quite big swans. Yeah, the black swans here too.
The black swans, they're an ornamental bird over here. We do see them occasionally, but they're ornamental.
Yeah. But they're a good sized bird. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're similar size. In fact, bigger than the goose, I think. Usually.
Yeah, bigger than geese. Yeah, I mean some geese are pretty big, but they're a little bit bigger. I think the swans.
They're very aggressive swans as well. The white swans.
Oh yeah, they can be.
I've
very
been
aggressive.
I've been seen off by a couple of the male is called a cob, and in the mating season they're very very aggressive, and so it's So I've had to duck behind a bush on a couple of occasions when I've been attacked by a swan. Yeah. As soon as you're out of their sight, they forget about you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, geese are very aggressive too. Actually, and bloody loud. They're bloody loud.
Yeah,
very loud. Yeah, so they're good to have around. Actually, I quite like the geese.
Yeah, I was brought up with geese.
Like having a guard dog.
Yeah, and I came down one morning and there was at the gander was looking a bit. The male goose was looking a bit subdued. And I inspected him, and he actually had teeth marks underneath his neck there, either side. So a fox had got hold of him during the night, but he'd obviously won the fight because of the fox. There was no sign of the fox, and he was still alive. It took him a couple of weeks to recover, but he obviously won the fight with the fox. So fair play to the old bird. Yeah, it's a tough old bird.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. That makes you wonder. Actually, I found. I was last week. I went into the chook house, and the chooks had killed a pigeon and eaten it. The only thing left was you could see it's just his head, his spine, his legs, and his wings. Everything else is gone.
Yeah. People don't think of birds as being carnivore, but when I was raising the pheasants if a pheasant died, of natural causes, then the other pheasants would rip it to pieces.
Oh yeah, for sure. They just eat it.
They are carnivores.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. I mean, if you want to pull, I mean, sometimes you have to pull them out if they can be quite violent too. If you introduce a new one, like if you introduce a new chicken to the group, they're quite violent to them, to the new one. So yeah, you have to be careful with that. Yeah. So, but I was quite surprised. I just walked in and found like just these scraps of this pigeon left.
Yes,
Like, I don't know how they even caught it. It must have. I mean, it must have hit the cage and sort of fell on the ground or something. And they got onto it. So, but it's a hell of a thing. I mean, they even eat the rats.
Oh yeah, anything.
Eat
They birds
anything.
attracted by the red color as well. The red color of meat. If as soon as the flesh is opened up, they'll home in on the blood and it's they're pretty voracious, voracious.
Yeah. The ducks are good like that too. Actually, if I catch a rat in the trap, I just flick it off to the ducks. They'll take off with it. They eat them as well. Yeah, they'll swallow the whole damn thing. It's funny as hell. I actually I tried to get one back off a duck last month or so. I think maybe, but he was just carrying it by the tail. He just he took off with it. There's no way he was going to let me take it off him. He was. They love their meat. So.
They do. They certainly do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's surprising, isn't it? It's just you don't even think about these birds eating these smaller animals or even other birds so much, but they're full on. Fair play.
Yeah, the corvids over in this country, the crows, the ravens, and the magpies. When you're driving down the road, you see the roadkill, the rabbits, and that, and there's always a magpie or a crow picking at it.
Always.
And then they hop out of the way. As soon as you're gone, they get back on the road and start eating.
Yeah, yeah, same. We actually had one in the driveway. There's a young kangaroo, must have been hit by a car, and then sort of made its way up our driveway and just sort of killed over in the driveway. So, but the first thing they always go for is the eyes.
Yeah. It's the softest part. They're well aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit weird. You sort of pick up this corpse, this stiff little kangaroo with no eyes.
Yeah.
Covered in crows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen crows will pick off even just small young baby ducks and chickens.
Oh yeah, good God, yeah. When I was working in Paris, I used to go for a run around the lakes in the Bois de Boulogne, the park, and there was always ducklings there, and you could see the crows eyeing them up as they were, they were trying to find a way in. That's the reason why ducks have such big broods, because they have such an attrition rate of losing their ducklings that they have to. Otherwise, they wouldn't get very many at all, because they're basically fodder for birds, for fish, for Mustelidae, the weasel family, foxes.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of enemies, or a lot of predators.
Yeah, they've really got bugger all chance of surviving, haven't they?
Very, very small chances. So that's the reason why they have to have so many per brood. Otherwise, they would never successfully get anything to adulthood.
Yeah, makes you wonder how any of them survive. Really,
it does. I mean, it's the same with the turtles. When the turtles hatch, it's that mad dash to the sea, isn't it? And many of them get picked off by coati-mundis and various other predators, and it's the rate of baby turtles making it to the sea in the first place is very low, and then of course they've actually got to survive the fish predators when they're in the sea.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's an amazing attrition rate. It really is. It's just admirable how they survive.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? It's like another thing is another thing I don't really understand how it survives is the sloth. Like in the jungles of the Amazon and so on. It's like, how does something that slow and awkward survive? It's got me stuffed there.
I've never given any thought to that one, but I mean I guess they have some sort of defense mechanism or some way of not getting eaten.
Well, I guess they do. I mean, they've got really long sort of nails.
Yeah, they've got the two claws, haven't they? That they hang off the
They've
tree
got
with.
big claws, but I mean, again, like they're so slow. They're like they're sort of moving their arm. It's like how the hell do they fight off any sort of predator? You know,
unless they got a chemical defense mechanism like the shrew has in this country, because our cats would kill shrews, but they would never eat them because they give off some sort of toxin, some sort of poison.
Yeah.
So maybe that's their defense system. Don't know. Really, not sure.
Yeah. It's like there was a popular pet in Japan. I think it's called was it it's kind of like a little, I don't know, like a little lemur sort of thing. I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like a bush baby, but it has a venom in its fangs that can actually make you really sick.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. I can't think of its name either. It's not a bush baby. What's it called? No, it's gone from. It's too far down in my memory somewhere. I can't.
But it was. I mean, it's a really popular. It was a really popular pet in Japan at one stage because they're really. I mean, they're cute little fluffy little things, which Japan loves that stuff.
Yeah.
But actually quite venomous. Actually, so. Yeah, funny little creature though.
Yeah, I wonder if the maker of Gremlins based the Mogwai on them. The Gremlins, because they kind of fit the same profile, don't they?
They kind of do, don't they? Mm.
Yeah. And obviously Mogwai is kind of it's got a Japanese sounding name to it. So yeah, I wonder if they were the inspiration behind the Mogwai.
Yeah,
the Gremlins.
I heard swans taste bad. I've never tasted it, mate, so I've got nothing to compare it to.
They were a delicacy back in the day here for the abbots, the monks and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that was. I mean, the problem with birds, though, like the older they get, like the worse they taste. It's like if you've had a chicken, like if a chicken dies of old age, you don't want to eat it because it'd be like eating boot leather.
Not unless you boil it to the point where the flesh is falling off the bone.
Well, that's right. You have to boil it, and then you have to let it sit for days in the fridge, sort of thing, and just it's it's more work than it's worth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Just kill a cow. It's much easier.
Yes, exactly.
So
yeah, there's an old saying about rabbits in this country. I'm trying to think. Rabbits young, rabbits old, rabbits shy, rabbits bold, rabbits something, rabbits tough. I thank you, Lord, I've had enough. Rabbits tough. I thank you, Lord, I've had enough. Because that was back in the day before myxomatosis, when rabbits were everywhere, as they were in Australia, and they were a staple for the local farming community. But I say this gentleman, he said, "Rabbits tender, rabbits tough. I thank thee, Lord, I've had enough." So,
well, I mean, again, because all the peasants weren't allowed to have the deer and all the other ruminants because it was all on king's land and whatnot. And you get rabbit starvation. Even though there are like some big breeds, like in France, they have some very big rabbits that they literally bred for meat.
Yeah.
I think they can be quite big. They're like that. Yeah, the Dutch long-eared, and so But I guess that again would come down to the age of the rabbit as well. The older any animal gets, the tougher the meat is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Finding a wild swan, maybe. I think it might be too old.
But there's a good way with the mute swan, the one we have. There's a very good way of actually identifying what's edible, because they get their full plumage in the first year, but their beak stays grey. So if you can get a grey beak, that means it's a yearling. I've never done it myself, but I know of people who've done it, and that's what the recommendation from the old countrymen is. if you are going to take a swan, take it in its first year, and the grey beak is the giveaway, because the orange beak is a sign of maturity, because obviously it's a sexual attraction for that's the reason to show that it's sexually mature. So yeah,
Okay.
get a fully fledged grey beak if you're going to go out getting a swan. Not that I recommend it, of course, because it is very much against the law and very much against the ownership of His Majesty King Charles. But anyway, something to think about.
Yeah. Well, he gives a shit what he thinks anyway.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm not going to say that, but I can think
it. Yeah, fair enough.
Not the way I'm thinking it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it comes down to it, if you're looking for a meal, it'll keep the ribs apart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's very true.
So,
what's your views on snails, Dave? Escargot.
I won't try. That's beyond me, mate.
Interesting. No, I used to do my own. We have lots of garden snails here, and I used to collect them. I used to feed them on duck food for a week, as Rick would call it, clean lettuce, and then you stop feeding them for a week, and they go into a sort of estivation mode. They go into shutdown, and then that's called purging. So they purge themselves. Now they clear their intestine, and then because fasting they go. So and then you basically, before you take them and you put them straight into boiling hot water. So they're that's called blanching. Take them out of their shells and then cook them in a court bouillon for 45 minutes. Put them back in their shells, seal the shell with butter, and then you put them in the oven for 20 minutes or so, and then you serve them. That's how the French do it. The French do it à la bourguignon, which is garlic butter. And it's a fabulous. I love it. I just haven't had time to do any recently. But I'm half thinking about doing some before.
It sounds like a lot of work.
Friends get over and frightening them with them, but we shall see.
Hey, snail story I've got is years back when I was going through, I think, the first year of chemo. Nozomi, my wife, she bought a lettuce and she found a snail on the lettuce.
Yeah.
And she flipped out because she's never seen bugs or anything creepy crawlies on a lettuce before, or any food. But she didn't want to kill it, so she started feeding it, and she kept it in this little plastic tray. We ended up having this snail as a pet for about 4 years till it died. It got quite big.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like if he found him, he was only about this big, but when he died, he was about this big. So
yeah, I say they're friendly little fellas snails. I've got nothing against them other than a lot of gardeners have got a lot against them because obviously they're very destructive. But I like them as
they're just trying to eat.
I like them as food.
Yeah. Oh, I can't blame them for trying to eat.
No, exactly. Everybody's got to try and survive.
Yeah, that's right.
But of course, we no longer have any vegetable crops anyway. So snails are not our enemy anymore. So
no, not really. So yeah.
The old vegetable patch is given over to decorative plants nowadays.
Yeah. Let the snails have it.
The only fruit tree we have now is a fig tree, which is decorative as well. Anyway. And the birds say
I don't mind growing the trees. I like growing trees. I've got a lot of fruit trees, actually. None of them really produce any fruit because of the land we're in, but I like growing the trees themselves anyway. And we've got, that's one good thing too, is like our land, the land here, we've got, heaps of wild ducks, and they sort of keep the bugs at bay. The bug, they just walk up around between the trees, and they take care of the bugs for me. Plus we've got heaps of kangaroos and wallabies and so on. So I'm surrounded by food. It's good.
Yes, exactly. That's right. I live, although I was raised on a farm about 4 miles from here, but I live in town now, right in the centre of town. but within, you know, a few miles of me, there's a herd of red deer up on the Corntalk Hills. We've got lots of roe deer, so we've got lots of venison on the hoof around here. Rabbits are everywhere. Hares or jackrabbits are pretty much everywhere as well. And as for pigeons, they're two a penny. And we've got lots of shooting estates around here which got the pheasants on. So yeah, down in deepest darkest Somerset, we do have a lot of wild food wandering around. Not to mention the snails in the garden as well, of course, and squirrels. Well, I live next to a park, and the squirrels are absolutely everywhere.
Well, we don't have squirrels, but we've got pretty big possums.
Yeah, I've seen possum in your chick house there, or in the sheds,
in the potting shed. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, but the only problem with the squirrels is that back when I was living on the farm, I had a 2.2 air rifle with a 3 to 9 times 45 telescopic sight. But if I was to go to my local park with that nowadays, I think I'd get arrested pretty damn.
Yeah, probably.
The world has changed somewhat since my teenage years.
Yeah. Oh, we can't even carry them anymore.
No, I don't think we can. I think you'd have to have permission from the farmer, and it's not worth it. I don't have any weapons anymore. I don't keep them anymore. But it was good growing up on the farm as a teenager, and you know, I got a lot of wild food in, pigeons, rabbits, and squirrels mainly.
Yeah. And we got a lot of rabbits and jackrabbits and hares and so on, but nothing like squirrels. I think they're too fast to catch anyway. It seemed like a lot of work for very little reward.
With an air rifle, they're not too fast to catch, but it's been a long time. I see Annabella's saying that she grew up on an orchard. I did as well. There was one of our on our farm. We had an apple orchard, and we grew the cider apples. And every autumn, the local cider farmer, Mr. Gordon Rich, would come and basically assess the apples, and then he would buy a load off us. And he had a cider farm about 3 miles down the road from us, and cider was like mother's milk to me. Scrumpy was like mother's milk to me growing up. And as you know, I only finally gave up alcohol on March the 17th last year. Yeah, so I had literally a life. Well, probably from the age of 12 until 59. I was a fairly heavy drinker all my life. But my body is a proof that no matter how much you abuse your body, it is very forgiving, because the minute you stop abusing it, it repairs itself.
Yeah, that's right.
We are
incredibly. It's an incredible. It really is an incredible. Thing that the body, the resilience of the body to be able to rebuild itself is just, it's phenomenal, really. And it's like we just get lied to about this. Like we get lied to so much about that. Once it's done, sort of thing. Like there's nothing you can do about it. But it's just, I don't know. It's incredible how resilient the body can be, because. In my situation, they didn't expect my organs to last me, another 6 months.
Yeah, just to prove my point, these are the results of a blood test that I had on September the 26th of 2024, when I was still drinking very heavily, but I was carnivore apart from the alcohol. And just to give you I'm looking for the liver function test here somewhere. So talk amongst yourselves while I find the liver function test. Yeah, okay. So liver function test. I was drinking 70 plus units of alcohol a week at this time. Serum bilirubin level 16, correct range 5 to 21, so within the thing. Serum alkaline phosphatase 62. Correct level 30 to 130, so smack in the middle of that. Serum ALT level 32, 0 to 50 is the correct range. And then serum albumin 46, 35 to 50. So I've got a perfect liver function test, okay, Dave? Excellent. Whilst I've been drinking heavily all my life, and I was still drinking over 70 units a week, at least 7 bottles of wine a week plus beer. So when
the liver itself is very resilient. Like you can cut pieces of liver off and it'll grow, you know.
Exactly. So basically, when Nurse Abby came to give me the results of this test, she skips up. They always ask you, how much alcohol do you drink? It's one of the key questions. But she looks at my liver function test and skips over it. I said, Abby, aren't you going to ask me how much alcohol I drink? She said, no, George, look at your liver function test. She said, it's perfect. You're obviously a teetotaler. I said, Abby, I drink 70 plus units a week. And she laughed. She thought I was taking the piss out of her. And I had to give her, I had to give her the Georgie sincere stare into her. No, I'm serious. And she looked at me and she could see I was serious. She said, that's impossible. But whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. So basically what was happening is because I'd gone carnivore, because I have had bad liver function tests in the past, but because I was high fat carnivore, basically I was abusing my body, but the fat was protecting me. It was,
exactly.
You know, it even though I was still assaulting the liver with alcohol, if I wasn't assaulting it with fructose, the fat was defending my liver. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, believe me, I'm not saying everybody can go out and drink alcohol now, because there are other reasons not to drink alcohol. One is that I kept on losing my short-term memory. Two, I became quite nasty and quite aggressive sometimes with alcohol on board. Thirdly, falling over. I would lose my balance occasionally, and there is a risk there. Fourthly, money. It's very financially deleterious. And fifthly, I suffered terribly from night sweats when my liver was processing the alcohol. And all of those things are now cured. So, even though my liver was fine, the other things were, you know, make it. I absolutely disagree with drinking alcohol now. I'm not a zealot. I don't go around preaching it to other people. I just say, not for me, thank you very much anymore. And I do get a lot of pushback from my former, well, no, they are my friends, but they're my former drinking buddies. And I got quite a lot of pushback yesterday because I was sat there with a pint of non-alcoholic beer just to blend in. And I got a lot of pushback from my former drinking, including my brother. But I'm used to it now. I just laugh it off. But that's the story behind my alcoholic liver function test. Absolutely perfect.
That's fantastic, man. That's really good.
It just proves that the carnivore protects. Carnivore mends and it protects as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just amazes me just how resilient the body is when you give it the proper nutrition. You know. It's fantastic.
Annabella saying that I was lucky enough to get the delirium tremens, the DTs, the screaming abdabs. But I used to get the shakes occasionally on the morning, but never as far as a grand mal seizure, which is the ultimate result of delirium tremens. Obviously, there have been some very famous alcoholics in the past, such as Dylan Thomas, Richard Burton, I think probably, and they were and Oliver Reed as well. They got on that far, but no, I managed to always avoid the DTs, probably because I was so fit. Because you know, I used to, being an ex-soldier and ex-athlete, I always kept myself fit, even though I was drinking, which is very common in the British Army. Believe me, you get some very, very fit guys who are also alcoholics. So that was probably what protects me, the fitness. But now it's the fat that is protecting me, because I don't do fitness anymore. All I do is I live an active lifestyle, plenty of walking. So I haven't done any cardio or any lifting. I haven't been back in the gym since I started this journey 4 years ago. I haven't run a step because I can't. My knees won't allow me. But I still do a lot of walking on my back. Well, not a lot, but I still do.
Yeah.
And I'm still very active at work because I'm on my feet all day long. So it's the active lifestyle rather than rather than being the gym bunny like I was, or the mountain runner like I was. So it's working for me at the age of 60, and I'm quite happy to keep it that way.
Yeah, that's right. I used to love eating red apples when it was still a bit green. Okay, I had an apple 1.5 years ago. It made me feel exhausted. Yeah. No wonder Snow White was poisoned with an apple.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, Annabella. Very good.
And look at what happened in the Garden of Eden. There was Adam and Eve were perfectly happy until they ate the apple.
That's why she fell asleep. It was the bloody apple. It was the fructose that did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, most doctors don't know anything about health. No, exactly.
Metabolic health, they don't. It's very true. But if I've got a leg hanging off, or an acute disease, an infectious disease, I'll probably go to a doctor. But when it comes to metabolic health, no, don't go anywhere near them because they are morons, miseducated morons.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a bone set or something like that, if your arm's hanging off, then maybe go see a doctor. But
exactly,
I mean, even then, I'd probably try and stitch it up myself first.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with doctors is that they are intelligent enough to take in all this information and to regurgitate it to get all these certificates, but they are too damn stupid ever to question it.
Yeah,
because
they come in the textbook. It's in the textbook. It must be real. They don't even think about whether it works or not.
No, because I mean, they can't think for themselves. On their shift, on the generation that we have of doctors, on their watch, as we say, the World Health has done that, and yet they won't even question it. They will not question it.
That's right.
So it's a disgrace. It really is.
It is a bloody disgrace.
You and I know that you and I, when we get on this subject, we tend to go into a rant day. So we'll just say rant over. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's bloody true, and that's the problem. It's like they can't connect the bloody dots. Hey, Eleni, how you doing?
I once went to Mevagissey, which is it's a harbour port thing, and I wanted skate. You know the fish skate?
Yep.
Flatfish, because it's beautiful. And I had to wait for about 20-25 minutes for it to be cooked. So I waited and stop laughing.
I know this story.
And I sat there on the harbour wall with my skate, and a seagull went whoo and took my skate. Yeah. So there was me and this seagull because it was so heavy, it pulled the seagull down. There was me and this seagull having a tug of war over the piece of skate. Seagull won.
Yeah, they're buggers. They are absolute buggers, those things. Like, I mean, they're rats with wings, honestly. Like, you go like on the back of a ferry, like at Sydney Harbour, or like there's actually, last time I did this was in Japan, in Matsushima. You take a harbour to one of the islands, or take the ferry to one of the islands, and there's a flock of seagulls just following the boat, and people just feeding them off the back of the bloody things. They'll land on your hand and take the food out of your hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They got no fear. They're just
they're
miniature vultures
over here.
Yeah.
They're known as shite hawks, which is actually it's a modern day thing, because the original shite hawks over here were the red kites, but the red kites have virtually disappeared, and now we call the seagulls the shite hawks. Yeah. Although the red kites are coming back now, quite. There was a
aggressive.
Yeah, they are. There was a reintroduction program in the Chiltern Hills a few years ago. I was part of that when I did estate security, and they spread out, and the red kite has now made a big comeback in this.
Oh, that's
in
good.
This country, which is another ecological success story. I saw one very local to me the other day.
I've seen they've been for the last year or two, they've been reintroducing buffalo into Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they've been rebuilding. They were surprised because they initially wondered what it would happen, but they reintroduced the buffalo because they were pretty much hunted to extinction in Europe, which is pretty much when we went to like farming crops and so on. But when they reintroduced these buffalo, they were astonished to find that they were actually rebuilding the environment around them. They were restoring the environment, keeping down rubbish and so on. And
it's regenerative grazing. It's it's one of my big things. Regenerative. It's easy for you to say regenerative grazing. I'm big into that, because it is the way we're going to save the world.
Well, that's right.
the environment, because what we need to do is get the ruminants back on the plains of Kansas and turn it into grassland again, not bloody dust bowls, which they've created because it became the grain growing center of the USA. I mean, there's ghost towns all over Kansas now, on account of the fact that there's no soil there anymore. So that's what we need to do. But they won't bloody hear of it, will they, Dave? Because
no, it's amazing, the bloody stupidity of people. It's the same thing here. Like, Australia's got the thinnest topsoil in the world. It's like, even on my property here, like there's parts here there's just no topsoil. It's always just clay, and you can't grow anything on that. You can't even grow grass on it. So
no, that's true.
And you can see it also, like even on the grasslands here, because there's not enough cattle, the grass grows to a point where it's too high, and when grass gets to a certain height, the tops of it die off and it dries out and it becomes a fire hazard.
Yeah.
If we had more cattle to keep the grasslands down, to keep that grass and rubbish out, like processed, it would take care of the environment itself, replace it with topsoil and
sheep as well, because sheep are much more, they're real lawnmowers. Sheep are. They get it
absolutely
lower than the cattle do because of their nibbling capability.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. There's a great conversation going on in chat with Annabella and Jonathan talking about fat, which reminds me of a conversation that myself and Lainey have been having over the weekend with our American friends.
Grew up on dripping. Yeah. She said fat makes you fit, and fit, not fat. Yeah, well, she's a smart lady. Yeah, she's absolutely genius.
The conversation that we've been having over the course of this weekend is the difference between the UK and America when it comes to keeping fat on the meat. Because here in the UK, we are now seeing increasingly they are not trimming the meat either in the supermarket or in restaurants. So the sirloins now have a superb band of fat around them, and the fat has become very popular. Everybody now knows where the flavour is. I'm not sure if they're convinced about nutrition, but everybody now knows that the fat is where the flavour is, and basically you are in restaurants and in supermarkets and at the butchers, the fat is untouched. But we were speaking to Peter, Papa Carnivore, over in Florida yesterday, and he said that he went and bought a load of ribeyes this weekend, and they had all been trimmed, all the fat had been cut off. So it seems that the UK is actually showing the way to the US of A for a change in valuing fat on the meat. And in 2024, last time we caught up with our venison supplier, Robert Hawker, we noted how the fat was on all the steaks, and we asked him about it. He said no. He said nowadays, everybody wants the fat. He said, I don't touch the fat. He said everybody wants it. So yeah, it's little small victories like this that that we just need to be aware of. We are winning this battle. Yeah, but these victories will be never flagged up in the mainstream media, because the mainstream media are run by Big Pharma and Big Food, and of course that's the last thing that they want to actually admit is that we are winning. But we are. We're not gonna sweep away the walls of Jericho in one big hit like Joshua's army did. We are winning this one person at a time, hearts and minds. We are winning it one heart, one mind at a time. But it is snowballing gradually. We will win this, Dave. We will win this.
Oh, we will. Yeah. I mean, eventually. I mean, it might take a long time, but I mean, it's going to take a long time. But
what we are doing now is we are leaving a legacy for the future.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
We can't hope to win it in our lifetime, but we are.
No.
But if our legacy is in 100 years' time, then the regenerative grazing has returned and the environment has returned. Then we've won. It's as simple as that. There's a great. Have you ever seen the film The Accountant?
The Accountant.
Yes.
No.
It's I can't remember who it is. It's one of the famous. But basically, he's it's a great film called The Accountant. But the theme tune is called by a guy called Sean Rowe, and it's called To Leave Something Behind. and the chorus is, I'm just trying to leave something behind. So it's all about legacy. And it's kind of my theme tune when I think about what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to leave something behind, basically. I'm trying to create a legacy which will help. Ben Affleck, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. He knows it. And Sean Rose is singer. And so we
I don't watch Ben Affleck movies. He's a Hollywood grub. But know what you're saying though. That's good.
Yeah, all of us here are trying to do, Joe, Annabella, Jonathan, you, me, Kilts, Kerry, we are all trying to leave something behind us for the next generation.
Hey Joe, good to see you. Yeah, Ben Affleck. He's a very good. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, everything we do, I suppose we leave something behind, and it's the same for us. We pretty much stand on the shoulders of our ancestors,
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is too, this is why it's so important, I think, not just what we are doing, but showing people that, that we are standing for the truth as well. It's not just about, we're advocating for meat and that sort of stuff, but we're advocating for truth and honesty in healthcare and so on. And that, like you said, is a very big snowball effect, and it's having that effect all around. I think everyone generally wants to be healthy. They just don't always go about it the right way,
Yeah. For years I was calories in, calories out. Exercise. I used to keep myself incredibly fit by climbing mountains. I've been to 18,500 feet in the Himalaya. I broke a world stretcher bearing record back in 1988. I was a moderate athlete, a road runner. I never ran a marathon, but I used to compete up to 15 miles on the roads. Played rugby, played various other sports. That was my way. It was all about fitness. Yeah. But of course, I reached sort of my 40s, and I just slowed down, and I didn't change the way I ate. And that's what my downfall was, because I couldn't outrun a bad diet anymore. Up until the age of 40, I was always outrunning a bad diet. Yeah. And then, for probably 14 years, I just deteriorated downhill until I was ready to die. I thought that my life had basically come to an end. My meaningful life had come to an end anyway. Went and saw the doctor. She issued me with 2 prescriptions, metformin and probably statins. Don't know, because I never cashed them in. But thankfully, that wonderful nurse grabbed me and told me the truth. Once I found the truth, I was able to turn my life around. I'm 4 years and 1 month on from then. Yeah, and the truth released me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to be open to it as well. And that's the biggest problem with people. Like, they don't like to consider the fact that they've been lied to and that they fell for it,
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, that's the mindset is the biggest thing that's going to change. That needs time to change for most people,
Yeah. I mean I'll go back.
Look at what the Americans did with the food pyramid, right? All they did was flip it. They didn't really change much. They didn't change bugger all, really. But everyone flipped out saying, "Oh, red meat." They didn't change anything about the saturated fat. It was still 10 grams, and there was nothing different at all. But everyone flipped their wig saying, "Oh, look, this is crazy," and they're still having a field day about it. It's just the way people are. It's crazy.
But if I can go back to my mindset when I was getting very ill, it was as an alcoholic. So I needed money to fund my drinking, both at the pub and at home. And I believe that a calorie was a calorie. So what is the cheapest way of getting your 2,500 calories there, filling yourself up? It's bread and pasta and rice. So so I thought, well, if I only eat the cheapest bread, the cheapest pasta, the cheapest rice, I'm getting my calories, and energy is energy. Therefore, I've got more money left over to go and drink down the pub. And that was literally my mindset. So I had to completely flip that mindset. But thankfully, because I'm a critical thinker, I'm a trained intelligence analyst, I was able to do it. But it's very difficult for people to make that huge leap of faith from one mindset to another. And it took me quite some time. But I've done it. And I'm now, I'm trying to help other people change their mindset. Because you can advise people on what to eat and how to live their lives, but if you can't get into their head and change their mindset, you've got no chance whatsoever.
That's right.
So I see my main role now is not being the scientist like yourself and Jonathan are, and Stephen and Richard and people like that. My role is to prepare people's mindset and then pass them on to somebody like yourself and Richard and Jonathan, so that they can actually then give the full instructions. As a coach, what I'm doing is I've got my business card here, which is my before and after, which catches people's attention. I've got my contact details. I invite people to talk to me, and I offer them one free consultation, absolutely free, in which we establish their needs and their goals. And then I have this worldwide network of coaches. And I, like, for example, if they want to be a gym bunny, a muscle builder, I would send them to Jonathan. If they're a postmenopausal woman with sorting that out, then I would send them to Coach Juliet Edens. And I've got, and if they were type 1 diabetes, Coach Amy Perrin over in Maine. I've got it in my head about, but unfortunately, at the moment, I'm not getting a lot of feedback. But I am ready, believe me, when people do come back to me for that one coaching free consultation, I am ready then to farm it out to. I've got this network of coaches that I am ready to pass them on to. But we'll see if anything comes of it. But
I mean, your network is your net worth. So just stick with it, and all the right people, and it can only go up. Just give it time. So it's a good thing. My dad still says that getting the calories in is the most important.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a dog, like you said, George. It's a mindset thing. Some people are open to new information. Other people are dogmatic about it, and they have a certain belief, and you can't talk them out of it. You cannot talk to these people out of it. So you're just wasting your breath. The best you can do is do it for yourself and show them how you did it. And if then maybe they might change their mindset. But even then, it's a struggle.
The other mindset that's very hard to change is people see food now, or they see what they put in their mouths as entertainment, as a social ritual. And it's very hard to change that. I mean, for example, yesterday, myself and Lainey went out for lunch in our local restaurant, which is now very carnivore friendly because they know me very well. And I had a 12-ounce rump steak, blue, and that was the only thing which came out on the plate, because the family there knows me so well now, that they know that I don't have anything else. They don't even question it anymore. And then I had a cheese board to finish, and Julie, the proprietress, said, no crackers, no fruit or veggies, isn't it for you, George? Yep, no problem. So all that came out was a pure cheese. And then Carla, her niece, said, "Do you want a knife, George, for that?" I said, "Better had." She said, "Oh, I thought as a carnivore, you'd probably eat it with your fingers." So you see, I know you carnivores. But I mean, isn't it great that I've got my local hotel restaurant, I've got them trained. So they, and that is where Kilts will be staying when he comes over in June. And I've already booked the private function room for the welcoming dinner. So there's going to be a load of carnivores in this private function room. So instead of having to go through that laborious process of trying to explain no chips, no French fries, they're going to go right. Who wants any sides? No sides, no problems. So it's just great to have that carnivore HQ just up the road from us, where they don't even question it, because they have seen the miracle. Because I've actually known these people for 56 years of my life, because one of the joint proprietors, Andrew, was the first little boy I sat next to in class at the age of 4. That hotel has actually been in that family since the 1st of April 1963. So you've
Wow.
got this continuity going on, and they all they all now know that what carnivore is about, and they're all looking forward to meeting the American carnivores, and they're ready because they know about not cooking in seed oils. They know about not trying to offer sides. Well, they can offer sides, and if anybody wants them, they can have them. But then the sides aren't going to come as routine. It's the other way around. As routine, it's going to be meat only, and then sides are optional. Not the meat comes with sides. So it's just great to have this. To have been able to establish that. Yeah.
Just for instance, back was like having brekkie for dinner. Bacon and eggs fried and egg salad, and steakettes. Sounds good. Have you had a wonderful Easter, Laney? Thanks, George. I have to thank you, George. George, you are very own testimonial. That leave a face.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I met Joe on Cindy DeManche's channel back before Christmas, and since then we've become good friends. And obviously she'll be coming to see Jonathan and everybody in June. I'm really looking forward to meeting her. She lives in Nottingham. But the thing is, I like to think that that I've had just helps her build community within the carnivore community as well. So it's we're all of us, just even the little steps, we are kind of just helping people to join us and to understand. It's just you never know who's going to be influenced by just what we're doing nowadays. For example,
that's right.
I've got another story actually from last week. I was on the Kilts live in chat, and then somebody came up who is Semper Vivum is her Facebook name, because that's a plant that she collects. And she said, George, she said, I want to reach out to you and Lainey because you've been a great, a great inspiration to me. I said, yeah, fine, no problem at all. She said, oh, I live in Bridgewater in Somerset, 1.5 miles from you. Okay. But and then we went and visited her on Friday. She's a lovely lady, lovely Welsh lady, only 4'10". She's not obese or anything. In fact, she's very petite, but she's got social anxiety, and she wants me to advise her on eating meat, so she to fight against the social anxiety. But it just goes to show you never know who's watching these things. I never heard of her before she reached out to me via chat on Kilts. So you think sometimes, oh, we're just repeating, but we're reaching people. We're reaching people that we don't know that we're reaching, Dave.
No, that's a good point.
I mean, I've got this is a bit of a long story, but I will tell it anyway.
All right. I don't think you know any short stories, do you?
No, it's right. I've got a non-carnivore friend who went out for a walk the other day with her friend. And she reported back to me and said, oh, my friend's just been diagnosed with something I've never heard of. She said she's really flexible, she said, and there was something beginning with E. So I said, oh, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She said, George, is there nothing that you don't know? I said, no, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I'm very familiar with it. She said, but it's really rare. I said, yeah, I know, but I know at least 4 people with it. I said, I will try and help if I possibly can. So I went and found some Ehlers-Danlos syndrome stuff on YouTube. One of them was Amy Hosp, who is very much part of the Healing Humanity movement. She did it with Sean Baker 10 months ago. So I was able to send this to my friend, who is now going to send it to her friend. So Amy, when she did that interview 10 months ago, would have no idea that 4 people or 3 people removed from her would potentially benefit from that interview. She would have no idea that interview would go across the pond via me, via my friend, and then onto her friend. So it just goes to show how important it is for us to keep on telling our stories, because you never know who you're going to influence.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, Jonathan's saying Joe's making a huge splash in the online GLP-1 world. She's showing people how she got results with her carnivore diet. Inspirational, very good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because what Joe is doing is the crossover between the GLP-1 world and the carnivore, and showing how, you know, how the carnivore lifestyle supports the GLP-1 lifestyle as well. Because I think that we in the carnivore community tend to be far too dismissive of the GLP-1 community. Instead, we should be engaging, definitely engaging, and then showing that, you know, that how we can achieve the result.
Like, you know, I was talking to Jonathan about this last week, actually, because the thing is, the reason why, like, I'm not big on, like, especially supplements, like especially oral supplements, things like that. I think there's a lot of problems that come with them, but we all need a bridge to, you know, to get us from one part to the next, to get us from A to B, get us across that river, sort of thing. But there's always a bad name associated with a lot of these products, especially GLP-1s, but I mean, peptides in particular, well, any kind of new, especially if it's an injectable, people look at these things as a silver bullet, right? So when they hear how great, how wonderful these things are, they want to take it as much as they can. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, this might be a good like a silver bullet, like a quick fix sort of thing. So that let's fire as many bullets as we can to sort of to get it done as fast as possible, because everyone wants it all done overnight. They're not patient enough to do like a small injectable once or twice a week and then give it time, you know. So of course you're going to get problems. You know, there's always going to be, because they do have side effects. Whenever you take any kind of hormone replacement or supplement or anything else, if you take it in high doses, there are side effects. So I mean, that's the biggest problem, is that irresponsible consumers, as well as, I mean, I'm not saying that all these products are fantastic and there's no problem with them, but there is also the problem with, you know, people wanting it all overnight as well, and just taking out that, to say, oh, this is fantastic thing, it works, and it's going to make me thin, it's going to make me lean, sort of thing, so let's inject as much as we can, sort of thing. It's just it's what people do, you know.
Can I just give Jo a big shout out, because she is doing a fantastic job of basically being the GLP-1 ambassador to the carnivore community. Now, myself and Lainey, our daughter, she works in the nuclear industry not far from us, and there's a lot of money in the nuclear industry. And she knows a lot of people who are on these GLP-1s. She is in her late 30s. So she's got a lot of people, and GLP-1s are very money in there every month. She's noticing there are two types of people. The first one is those who are taking GLP-1s so that they can just carry on living the lifestyle of the Domino's pizza, the takeaways, the cakes, the chocolate. And there are those who are using GLP-1s in conjunction with being mindful about what they eat. And it's two totally different mindset. Mindset is using it as an excuse to carry on eating shit. And the other mindset, which I know is Joe's, is using it as a tool alongside being mindful of what you're actually putting. Exactly. And I've got every sympathy with people like Joe and those who are using it as you say, a bridge to get themselves to health, and then they can carry on building their health.
And there's nothing wrong with
what I have no sympathy with.
I mean, that's the other problem too, isn't it? Like you get that mindset where people say, oh, well, I've got this new silver bullet I can take every day, and I can keep eating the same junk food, you know, and just eat whatever I want, sort of thing.
Exactly.
And then of course they're the first ones to complain when something goes wrong.
Well,
but all of these things, doesn't matter what you do, all of these things need to be in place with the proper lifestyle factors, you know. That's what.
Well, I have another story about which has got a very sad ending, but it's a cautionary tale for all of us. My best friend from school was he was a doctor's son. He was a type 1 diabetic. He used to use insulin as an excuse for carrying on eating all the shit, drinking as much as he wanted, because basically his mum told him that if he keeps on injecting insulin, no problems at all, because that will manage his type 1 diabetes. And he was himself a pharmaceutical salesman over the years, so he was a great believer in, because he was a doctor's son. He was a great believer in it. At the age of 56, he lost his toes. At the age of 57, he lost his life because he was not prepared to change his lifestyle. He lost his toes, and then whilst he was recovering from that, one morning he never woke up. His girlfriend, who was lying next to him in bed, found him dead because he believed that basically the insulin that he was injecting into himself was a silver bullet. Against,
it would fix everything. Yeah,
exactly. He was not prepared to change his lifestyle because he was very wealthy. He was a millionaire. But he's dead now. He's gone, and that £1 million that he had in his bank couldn't save his life.
No.
So, but he believed that insulin was the silver bullet for type 1 diabetes, and he could carry on living as he wanted.
My uncle last year was the same. He's exactly the same. He thought he could just carry on drinking and eating whatever he wanted as long as he injected himself. He would be fine. Yeah. And same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, it's that mindset. It's the difference between people like Joe, who are realize that she's got to back it up with nutrition, and those people who think, oh, if I do this, I can carry on eating my chips, my crisps, my Dominoes, my chocolate, my cake, my cookies, whatever I want.
Exactly.
No sympathy with them, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I've got zero sympathy for any of them that do that. That's but it's the same. Same with cancer people. They don't want to make any changes, any lifestyle changes. I've seen like people literally will wheel out their chemotherapy treatments while they're getting in the drip going in. They'll walk outside and have a cigarette, and they'll sit there and eat cake and cookies and stuff. And I'm like, it's
not only that, Dave, but the fact that but whilst they're having their chemo, what are the hospital catering services? What are they offering them?
Yeah, that's right.
Donuts, cakes, cookies, sandwiches.
Yeah,
that's what they are being offered.
You'd be mind blown what they gave me when I was in hospital. Like when you're getting, it's different to when you're actually getting when you're an outpatient and you go in and get your treatment. They have this little trolley come around. It's got all those candy, cakes, and everything else, anything you want, soft drinks and so on. But when you're actually staying in, the food the meals, they're just as bad. They are shockingly bad. They are the worst kind of food, like pancakes that are at least 12 months old, and it's just it's shocking stuff. Seriously, they look like rubber frisbees.
But again, it's the over here, the National Health Service is in financial trouble. So again, what they're thinking is, what can we feed these people, which is the cheapest form of getting nutrition into them. It's just feed them cheap calories. Cheap, well, I hate the word calories, but cheap energy. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking let's keep their energy levels up with cheap carbohydrates, and that's what it is. If I ever go into a hospital, and I might have to get
the hospitals don't care about your health. They don't care about keeping you healthy. They want to keep you sick as well.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, every time if I get this hernia fixed and I have to stay overnight, I say to any visitor, if you want to come and visit me, please bring me a box of chicken thighs, or please bring me a box of bacon, or that's because I won't touch the shit that they're gonna try and give me there.
No, I never touched that.
So it's it's traditional to take grapes into the hospital. I'll say, give me some chicken thighs, bring me some bacon, bring me some cooked burgers. So I think I'm going to eat well if I go in hospital, because hopefully one or two people want to come and visit me, and they will bring appropriate stuff.
Yeah, just make a list out for Laney.
Laney, and also my family and my friends as well. One or two local friends.
Thank you, Jonathan. I really appreciate that, brother. Many GLP-1 users are paying for this medication out of their own finances because morbid obesity is literally killing us. We all know it's a tool. That's good. But we all recognize we need to make changes. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, not everyone does, but for the ones that do, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think what Joe is saying is all the ones that talk to her, who know her.
Yeah.
But there's an awful lot out there who don't as well.
Yeah. Actually, she's lucky she can actually get the GLP-1s. Here you have to have a prescription for them. A lot of peptides and things like that we can't get unless they're for research purposes and so on. But
I was talking to the girl who does my feet for me every 3 months. The gives me basically a foot massage. I can't remember. Pedicure every 3 months. She's a GLP-1 user as well, and she was saying that there are 3 sources in this country. One is through the doctor in prescription. Secondly is black market, and thirdly is through you pay for through pharmacists, proper chemist shops. Yeah. And she was on the pharmacy route, so she would never go to the black market. She doesn't qualify for prescriptions because she was not ill enough, but she goes down the pharmacy route. So at least it's fairly safe compared to the black market.
Oh yeah, well,
there is a strong black market for it as well. So I suspect that Joe might be on the pharmacy route. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but I'm sure she'll tell us in a second.
Jonathan has a client with the EDS, and carnivore upregulates the mitochondria around the muscle to keep things protected. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a client with EDS. If this young lady comes back and says she would like some paid advice, Jonathan, I know where to go because she lives in Somerset, so not too far up. So yeah, thanks for letting me know that. So that's quite useful.
So many of the GLP-1 users are looking for nutrition guidance. Yeah, that's good. Different ways of eating that can help them take control of their ongoing health benefits. Carnivore is the obvious way. Carnivore is the only way.
Again, it's so many are, but there are some that aren't either, unfortunately. But I'm glad that many are because it's a tool. I mean, for example, when I was diagnosed with depression and I was under counselling, I was taking Prozac, and my counsellor described Prozac as a life. I was lost at sea in a mental turmoil. He said the Prozac is the lifeboat that will keep you afloat until you get back to the proper life. It was a attempt.
Oh, we lost George. And he's back.
Yeah, hey. I'm back. Yeah, here I am. Yeah. So he was saying what you were saying about it being a bridge to get you back to health, and then and sure enough, I was on Prozac for about 6 months. I managed to sort of solidify my feet. I didn't really recover for another 10 years, not properly, but it was enough to just keep me alive, stop me from taking my own life for 6 months. So, but it wasn't until I found a low carb that I actually managed to get my mental health back properly, because I was just existing for 10 years, just going through the motions. I was just earning money. I was earning minimum wage because I was physically and mentally incapable of doing anything than a minimum wage job. But here I am back again. Now I've made my mark back in construction, and I'm earning way above the minimum wage. Another unseen benefit of carnivore: all this energy, all this mental clarity.
Yeah.
Oh God! If only I just wish we could. I just wish people would bloody listen to us, Dave.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, the last 5 years, people would, they never questioned anything. They just rolled down their window, took a jab, and drove off, sort of thing. And and they never questioned anything. And they here in Australia, they started threatening all of us who didn't take it, because we were all locked down for so long. But you tell them to eat a steak to get healthy, and they lose their shit. It's insane.
I've got again another 2 stories from yesterday. I went and saw my friend. I'm not going to name her, but she's saying, "Oh, I'm really ill at the moment. I've got an ulcer. I can't eat meat anymore. I can only eat bland food." I said, "According to whom? Based upon what?" Thank you, thank you, Bart. And she went, oh, the doctors. And I just looked her in the eye because, and that was the end of that conversation. Now, the really sad thing about this is that she was a very successful carnivore for a year, exactly. And then she fell off. And I said, I wanted to say to her, I was going to say, when did you feel that you're most healthy in the last few years? And she would have said when I was doing carnivore, but she just doesn't want to know now. She wants to, she's just looking for sympathy. And she was barking up the wrong tree. And when she said, oh, I've got an ulcer and I'm not allowed to, I said, according to whom, based upon what? She said, the doctors. And she realized what she said. She realized what, and that was the end of that conversation. But another friend had meningitis after a head injury and now is really struggling to walk. Former soldier, it was a rugby injury. And he has now apparently got lesions on his brain. They're expecting him to, they don't know whether it's MS or not. But he's saying, oh, I'm going to lose my memory and everything else. I'm not even going to bother talking to him because he knows what's happened to me. But he keeps on pushing me back. He's a rugby player, for God's sake. And I told him about Bart. And I told him about the 2011 All Blacks. And I told him about Rebecca Johnson, who's cured MS. But he's not interested. Why? Because he wants to carry on eating his shit. So he would rather lose his memory, go down the Alzheimer's route, die early, than listen to me. And
I mean, that's the thing. It's not.
I despair.
It's not even the the die early sort of part either. It's how your lifestyle is until you die. Exactly. They're willing to go through all that struggle, all that discomfort and pain until they die, just because they're addicted to shit food.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a type of madness, really.
I mean, this girl I was telling you about, she did interviews on YouTube about carnivore after a year. She lost 3 stone in weight, which is 42 pounds. She's never felt healthier. And yet she's gone back to eating the shit. And now she's complaining all the time.
Yeah.
What can you say to these people, Dave? What can you say to them?
That's their mindset, mate. You just can't change that. Yeah, that's just crazy, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I just, that's the great thing about this community, because at least we've got somewhere where we can go and talk to like-minded people and have a bloody good rant when we need one as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there are times I just feel like I wouldn't even stop, because honestly, you get so frustrated with people, their mindset, the way they think. It's mind-boggling just how stupid people can be. But other days it's just like, well, I can't be bothered anymore. It's like I'm done with it,
Yeah,
I just can't handle it.
What I've done now is when I tell somebody about it and whatever, I say it's entirely up to you. There's my business card. If you want to reach out to me, do so. I don't chase anybody anymore, because I said, I can give you the information. For all I can care, you can go and wipe your ass with it. Because basically, I am so used to people accepting information off me, then never getting back to me. So I said, if you want to, I say, that's my expression, because it shocks them a bit. Just go and wipe your ass with it, as far as I'm concerned. If not, get back to me. And the vast majority of people never get back to me. They never do. They want what I've got. They want that transformation, but they're not prepared to bloody well work for it. So why should we waste our time on these people? Why should we waste our time and our effort on these people, Dave?
Yeah, that's right. It's the same with everything, though, isn't it? It's like when people see like concert pianists and they look at this piano player and it's like playing this beautiful music, they all say, "Wow, I'd love to be able to play that," or "I'd love to be able to play a piano like you do." And then and then they turn around and say, "Well, I practice 6 hours a day for 20 years. Can you do that?" And it's like, "Oh, of course not. No, I don't want to do that." See, they all want the end result, but they don't want to do the work to get there.
Exactly. Do you remember the South African golf player called Gary Player? The South African golfer called Gary Player. He was just before your time. I just remember him. But somebody once told him how lucky he was to be such a great professional golfer. His reply was, "The more I practice, the luckier I get," and that kind of sums it all up, really, doesn't it? So yeah,
that's right. Exactly.
You know,
that's it in a nutshell, isn't it?
Exactly.
Joe's saying that she's paying for the GLP-1 even though she technically qualifies for the free medication, but the NHS put her on an 18-month waiting list, bariatric list. I knew that I didn't have 18 months. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the public hospital system here is shockingly bad too. When I was first diagnosed, I had I had to go through a number of operations over the years, but one operation I needed was just a very small operation, but it was causing me a great deal of pain. But they put me on a 2-year waiting list. Yeah, and like I was in that much pain, there were days I was thinking about suicide. You know, but unfortunately, you just have to. Just the way the hospital system is.
I think most people in our space are aware of the fact that I am nursing a huge inguinal hernia. And I took it to the doctor finally on September the 3rd of last year, who checked it out. He said, "Yep, he said that is spread into your testicle area." And he said, "And it's grown considerably. Therefore, you are an urgent referral case." He urgently referred me on September the 3rd of last year. So far, I have received 2 text messages from the NHS telling me to bugger off, basically saying there are no available appointments. Do you still wish to carry on with this? I just say yes, but I'm not expecting anything anytime soon. So we are 7 months down the line from an urgent referral. The NHS is a bloody disgrace. I've got no time for those people who say, "Oh, the NHS is wonderful." It's not. It's a bloody disgrace. And you know,
it's the same here. Like, and they keep telling you, "Oh, you're so lucky that you've got free medical," and it's not bloody free. The taxpayers are paying for it. We get a Medicare levy in our taxes. That's why we pay the highest taxes. We pay the highest taxes in the bloody world.
I've worked out today that I've actually been in the workplace for 42 and a half years, during which time I've paid my taxes, been and served my country. You know, been to war on behalf of my country. And now 42 and a half years down the line, will they take any notice of me at all? Will they? Bollocks. I'm sorry, but I just get so sick of these people who sing the praises of the NHS. They are lazy and incompetent. And that includes the nurses, not all of them, but myself and Lainey worked as security in a hospital during COVID. And we witnessed the laziness and the arrogance of these nurses who are so-called angels. Some of them are very good. But I actually walked out of that job because a nursing sister insulted me, implied that because I was security, I was a gorilla. She actually did the look at him. It was behind my back. She didn't realise that I was aware of what was going on behind me. And I finished that shift and I walked out the next morning. And they said, "Well, why did you do it?" I said, "Because I was insulted by a member of the clinical staff." And the head of their security actually said, "George, I can't understand. You are not the first person to do this. The clinical staff are so arrogant, so far up their own arses, that they actually believe themselves to be superior to other people." And I won't have it. I just will not have it.
No, I mean, a lot of them, they're in the wrong profession. You know, they just think that. I mean, it's Dunning-Kruger effect. You know, because they finish their school and they think that they know absolutely everything and everyone else is a complete moron, you know?
Yeah.
Basically. It must be madness, DC. There's no rationale for returning to eating foods that are killing. Yeah, exactly. It is a type of madness. It really is, you know? I get it. Like, they're addicted to these chemicals. They're addicted to the sugar, the sweet, and all this other stuff. And pure and simple, junk food is convenient. It's so easy to just get up, go to the fridge and pick up something, unwrap it and eat it, you know? Or just crack a can and, you know, drink it and just fit in with everyone else around them. But I mean, seriously, people just do not take responsibility for their health. And like I was talking about earlier, when I started the live today, being responsible for your health is the only way to survive. You giving your health or your life over to people who face no consequences for being wrong is madness. You know, that is the most dangerous and foolish thing you could ever do. Because they don't face any consequences if you get sick or if you die or if you end up in a wheelchair or stuck in bed for the next 10 years. It doesn't affect them at all. You know, they still have their job, they still have their life. They don't care.
I mean, what you're doing is subcontracting responsibility to other people instead of actually doing it yourself. And subcontractors are never as dedicated or on mission as much as the original contractor is. And it's a classic case of that. So
it's exactly right.
Don't subcontract out the responsibility to other people. But we've got used to that now. We've got used to the establishment telling us how to live our lives.
Well, that's it. We've been conditioned to think that way.
Exactly.
We've been conditioned to think that we're all too stupid to know what we're talking about. We've been conditioned to think.
Right. Unless you've got that PhD, and then
that's
then
right.
You have no right to talk about it. So it's
exactly.
So
none of it can be expensive when money is too tight to mention. I eat chicken livers and mixed mutton scraps. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, there's always a cheaper alternative. Meat can be very expensive though, and it's only getting worse at the moment, unfortunately. And this is the problem again. When these corporations are have control over the food supply.
Lady found a very good something very good the other day. I'm just going to see if I can find it and read it to you if I can.
That's a good point, Jonathan. Survival of the fittest is now simply a war based on information. Exactly. We are very much in an information war. So thankful you've overcome that, DC. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that. It's been a long struggle, but we get there.
Yeah. I found what I want to read to you, DC. It's a contrast between the academic who says, I paid the tuition, kissed the ring, and regurgitated the doctrine. Therefore, my stamped piece of paper proves I am your intellectual superior. That's the academic. On the other hand, we have Mark Twain, the writer of the famous American writer, who says, your degree is just a receipt of your absolute obedience. School lobotomizes geniuses into compliant employees. Don't confuse memorizing the propaganda with an actual understanding of the world.
Exactly.
That sums it up quite nicely. I'll send that one to you, actually, Dave. I think you might know. I'll send it to you right now. Yeah. It's quite
thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks for that. Actually, don't forget, send me that information about the jaws on those with the eel. Was it?
I forgot about that. As I said, Dave, my brain is so bloody chaotic these days. Things are slipping through. Yeah, of course, the two types of eel, the same species, but the meat eaters with the broad jaw and then the narrow pointed head with who eat the invertebrates. Yeah. Let me find a bit of paper.
Jonathan saying, when I got my diploma in medical science, I can confirm that the students there weren't interested in helping people for the most part. No, unfortunately, most of them are there because they want the big bucks is all. They just want the job that pays the most, I guess. And that, unfortunately, I mean, it's the same when it comes to power positions, jobs, and things like that. It's not that power corrupts. The saying that power corrupts absolutely is wrong. It's powerful positions that attract a certain mindset. So, I mean, the people that are willing to do these sort of jobs, vast majority, unfortunately, are there to earn the money and to put themselves into it. They just want a good life for themselves. They don't really care about helping people, you know.
Fabulous.
Hey, Christy, how you doing?
Yeah, just to say, we got one of the class of 23 in with us today. Dave, one of my oldest sort of heroes in the carnival space, Christy, our California teacher.
She had a great interview with. She did a great interview the other day with Peter Ballestead.
Okay, yeah.
Peter Ballestead he's a great guy. I really like speaking with Peter himself. He's a very, very nice guy, very generous guy with his time, and incredibly knowledgeable. Actually, very knowledgeable guy. So, yeah, he's good.
It's great. It's great to see Chrissy back on the YouTube circuit. She took a break. As I said, definitely one of the class of 23. One of my original sort of people that I recognised from back in those days. We were talking. I can't remember who I was talking to last night, but we've lost so many of that class of 23 along the way. The carnival rabbi, Larry Allhands, carnival soldier, although he's still a friend of mine on Facebook. Nicole, who Jonathan knows. I think there was a lot of talk. I can't remember who we were talking about, whose channel we were talking on. But when you go back to that class of 23, who a lot of them have just disappeared. I haven't seen Nia for months. Anybody seen Nia Nova for months?
I haven't seen it for a while. No, she came back a little while back, and she said she started eating carbs because she started feeling better. She took several months off, and
Chrissy's just taking several months off. I'm delighted to see her back. Really, am delighted to see Chrissy back. So, and obviously you were one of the class of 23 as well, because you used to go on with Larry, didn't you? Carnival Soldier quite a lot.
Larry was good.
And then we lost Primal Pete along the way, your compatriot.
Yeah, he was good too.
But a lot of them have disappeared. But the great thing about it is there's plenty of people coming in now to pick up the baton, so to speak, pick up the flag. So it's great.
No, I get it. Like YouTube's difficult. It's very time consuming, and it takes a lot of work to sort of put together information and videos, and then people don't watch them, and it really does. It gets a bit disheartening too. So I can completely understand why people don't continue with it.
Chrissy's echoing what I'm saying about the 23.
Yeah, a lot of those channels are gone now. All right. Nia's doing okay, but did delete her channel and is not eating carnivore anymore. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad she's okay, but I knew she started adding carbs back in. I'm sure she's still eating meat, but she's, at least she's doing okay. That's good. Yeah, she was a nice girl, actually, Nia.
Oh yeah, Nia. She was a great inspiration for me when it came to the alcohol as well, because she had a big alcohol problem, and she was one of the inspirations for me when I gave up.
Well, she used to work in a bar too, which made it difficult for her. So, that's good. She was a nice girl, actually.
Yeah, I like Nia. She's great.
Yeah, well, it's a bit sad that she's given that up, the channel, because she was doing yoga stuff as well. Maybe she'll do a yoga channel or something.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible. Anyway, well,
we've been at this for 3 hours now. I joined you 2 hours ago, so we've had a pretty good run today, haven't we?
A pretty good run. Yeah. But you've got a fence to paint, so I better let.
Don't remind us. Don't remind us.
I kept you talking as long as I could, mate.
You did. Thanks for that, mate. Much appreciated. It's now actually midday, so it's 1 minute past 12, so I'm actually into the afternoon now.
Well, that's right. Now you got to think about having lunch and let that settle. But probably not enough time to get into the fence today.
I have an appointment in California, Christy, with Angela Lara at 9 o'clock. Although SoCal down in LA, I think Christy is a bit further north than that. But I do have an appointment in California at 9 p.m. So I've got 9 hours between that one and we've got a fit lunch in. But perhaps I can get a bit of fence painting done in the meantime.
Yeah. YouTube is a lot of work, but I've got my motivation back for it. I've got interviews scheduled for the next couple of months on Saturdays. Very good. Amy Berger is coming Saturday. Okay. I don't know who Amy Berger is.
No,
Oh, that's Rockin' Coach Amy, is it? Or
no, that's Amy Davis. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure who Amy Berger is either. There's a lot of Amy's. Amy Hosp, Amy Perrin, and various other people. I think I've heard of Amy Berger, but I don't know. Yeah, Chrissy, if you're up and running again, you fancy it, just reach out to me if you want another interview. You know me, I do interviews with anybody who asks me, basically. So yeah, if you're looking for another interview somewhere down the line, give me a shout.
You are giving him every excuse under the sun not to go in that garden and do some painting.
sorry, Laney. Sorry. I did say we're going to finish it up, but give me another minute. Yeah, Laney's cracking the whip. Yeah, it seems a shame to delete the channel. Yeah, it does seem a bit of a shame. I mean, it's a lot of work goes into building the channel, and to delete it. I mean, the thought has crossed my mind many times, to be honest. So, I've thought about packing it in and deleting the channel myself.
Yeah, I had a dark moment about 2 weeks ago, Dave, when I very nearly just withdrew from the world. I very nearly just was going to shut down all my social media, Facebook, YouTube, just disappear. And I thought, no, I can't do that because there's too many people relying on me. But it was, I had a real dark moment when I just wanted to go back to working 5 days a week and getting drunk at the weekends and going back to the old way, But I
so much easier.
Various people dragged me out of it. So here I'm back again. Barbara, Grandma, she was great in dragging me out of it, and Laney was, and various other people as well. So yeah, I'm afraid you're still stuck with me and my stories. So there we go.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Always love hearing their stories, mate.
Yeah.
And we always learn something from George. We always learn something from a bit of history and so on as well.
Yeah, I'm keep on history.
We'll leave that there today. It's just over 3 hours now. So thanks everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's been a great chat, and I will see you in just a couple of days. Wednesday will be the next one, and then again next Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, I should try and jump in on Saturday.
All right, that'd be good. All right,
yeah.
Cool. So thank you all again.